Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update, and I'm your host, CWall Waller. And yes, Wole is back.
Yeah,
I do
we
not
in here.
have to do this show by myself after what we all watched yesterday. So that's a very good thing. That's a good thing I don't have to do this one alone. We have a jam-packed show as we always do. This is a Bowie Television Urban Sports Scene collab. Wole,
Mhm.
as always, thank you so much for collaborating with us and allowing us to leverage your platforms.
No
We did it
problem.
last week when you weren't even here, and we've been doing it for the last few weeks. And thank you so much. We're super appreciative
Oh, no
of all
problem.
the support that you all give. If you are in Prince George's County, Maryland, and you have not cut your cable, you can find Bowie TV on Comcast channels 190 and 1097. And we're all across all of the platforms here. Make sure you are subscribed to Bowie TV and the Urban Sports Scene. You are liking this show, getting everything all in the algorithm, and following on all platforms as well. A lot, a lot, a lot to discuss, and just I don't know. Well, I mean, it's it is
Mm.
what it is, but it's a lot to go ahead and discuss. We me, I
Yeah,
have clips. I
yeah,
have
yes, you do.
clips. I bring receipts, and all the conversation in the world. What a tough one for everybody to watch. We have, of course, a lot of Coach Quinn press conference clips, Cliff Kingsbury press conference clips, the clip Jaden Daniels. And we also have some player clips
Hmm.
from after the game yesterday as well. Clips from Terry McLaurin scrum, Frankie Louvu scrum, as well as Bobby Wagner. So let's go ahead and get into it because I know there's a lot and there's a lot of questions. You all know I still got to play this game. I thought about it earlier, Wole. Like, do I really want to play this game? What's your one word? Because I don't know what what
Oh,
one words would come up on this one, but
my one word. Pathetic.
okay, that's a good
Yeah,
one
yeah,
because that's what it was.
yeah.
It was um it was so bad, and I think I'm kind of looking at some of the comments myself now, and I think what we say, disappointed,
Yeah, see
frustrated.
disappointment. You got disgusted. Lord, like from my man Dujane. One word. Sad. Paul Vanish.
Yeah, I posted it on my Facebook earlier. And I'm sure hopefully she jump in at some point. Mama Waller did not know I was still going to do a show. She said, "Are you
Oh,
still doing a show?"
my water
She
better come out here. What she
she
doing?
said she said they didn't score no points. What you gonna talk about? What y'all talking
Oh, Mama
about?
Waller gone. Not they ain't scoring no points. Jeez.
They didn't score no points. What y'all talk about? What is there to
Hey,
talk
I
about?
made
What
Mama
are you gonna
Waller go
say?
in. You know you bad. You that
I
nice sweet lady.
said,
They made her go in. Shoot, y'all done messed up. Commanders have messed up.
it was like I didn't know. They didn't even score any points.
Defeated. That's a good one, George. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I guess my one word was shocked.
Hmm.
I will be honest. I did not see a shutout coming. I don't guarantee wins, losses, or anything. I
Hmm.
definitely guaranteed effort wasn't there. In the pregame, I talked about a lot of things, including getting back to having fun.
Hmm.
Do what you do well, but don't overthink this. So a lot of overthinking. I saw a lot of just not just the common sense logic response
Hmm.
things that I didn't see those things happening. Um it was a rough watch. Probably I want to say, and for different reasons, and we're going to get into um we're going to go ahead and get into just some of the after game, probably more from
Hmm.
the player perspective, clips that I'm going to show and then a couple of clips from Coach Quinn's press conference today, and then we'll work backwards. So I want to with like the immediate, and then let's work backwards with some things, because I do think there were some things that we need to talk about, as you know, as it relates to this game, but as it relates to just moving forward, like what they have, what is this, right, and what needs to be what they need to be looking at. Actually, I changed my mind right in the moment. I think it's probably best for us to start with some of the conversation that from last week, around preparation for the Vikings, because I think that's very important points. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the clips, shall we? And as always, you all, you know, Wole, you always come back with the great commentary and comments, and those in the chat definitely start questions, and of course, Wole, we love super chat, super thanks.
Oh yeah.
All that.
Don't get folks, don't forget, you know, subscribe to the Bowie TV and Urban Sports and YouTube channels. We appreciate super chats. Super chats help us support our shows. Each super chat will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Follow all our things on the socials. You know, I'm at Bowie TV Sports on IG, X, all that good jazz, and on Bowie TV on YouTube. We already mentioned Urban Sports Scene. At Urban Sports Scene on X, IG, you name it, everywhere. So just go ahead and search Urban Sports Scene on Facebook as well. So yeah, but yeah, make sure y'all support, man. Like this video too. That's the most important thing. Please like this video. Share with people. Let's crash the whole night. Let's crash this thing over like 500, 600 people on here. That's what I want to see. I want to see stuff like that. So if you're on here, share it.
Absolutely. You know, in the spirit of transparency, I know Dujanay has a comment on here about something here from Lake and Donna. You may star that one.
Okay. Okay. I see it from. Okay, I'll start.
I mean,
I see it.
You can star that one.
I see it.
Because I was the one that discovered it. So
let me read it though. I'm gonna read it first before I even. I started though. And check on. Okay, got you. Okay.
So, yeah. So we can talk about that.
Appreciate you, Paul, for the super chat, man. Y'all deserve this for doing the show after that band
thank you.
Appreciate you, Paul.
Thank you. Because listen, Mama Waller was like, "What you gonna talk about? What you gonna say?
You, Paul.
What can you say?
That's hilarious.
To say." Waller was like,
that's wild. They got Mama Waller. That's wild.
Now Mama Waller good. She was like,
they got her going. That's messed up, man. That's disappointing.
It is. So let's start back with some of the questions about the Vikings, or some of the, you know, comment around some of the success against the Broncos, what can be utilized and going into this game with the Vikings, because I do think they're very important points. So let's just go right into that.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon.
When it comes to momentum and trying to stack positive performances, being able to hold that Broncos pass rush to just 2 sacks, how does that kind of help bleed into going up against this Vikings pass rush this week?
Yeah, similar but different. And on the edges, I thought that was a nice job by Josh, and probably maybe his best game as a commander. And I'd kind of joked with him earlier. I said, like, look, it's hard to know like how you're improving right now. I said a year ago, man, you're fired up to, you know, play Indiana or Ohio State, and like, yeah, I can block that guy. And then now you're blocking guys every week that are like, man, this dude is really good. And all of a sudden, like, your skills keep improving. So you see that jump take place with a lot of the, you know, first and second year players, because their confidence is gaining, they're getting momentum. And so not comparing yourself to Laramie, but like, am I improving? And I think that's an important piece for a young player, and you do gain confidence in that. And our whole game sometimes is comparison, this versus this and this versus this. But sometimes, like, am I improving? Am I getting better? And so I was super pumped to see him do that. It's an important part of every game, you know, line play, run actions. I thought that helped, you know, in our game this week, that here's a team that if you can run it and you can stay committed to it, you don't let them pin your ears back and go. And that'll be similar this week as well.
So after last week's performance, I mean, the offensive line was a high point. a high moment, a position group that even on last week's episode, I did a whole thing. Have you thanked your offensive lineman today? and really, just kudos to them. And it almost made you feel even more confident in a way. I know for myself, that was like, okay, if you're going to bring Jaden back, right, and he's ready to go, he's healthy, you're not going to play him hurt, but if he's healthy, all right, you want to play him against, with this offensive line.
Yeah.
Right, they're in a good spot, and we're going to get back to this, after we get through this, to start to talk about the rest of the season and just from a perspective of what do you have, right? Because Josh Connolly did great. He really, really did, and so it was certainly a high point. You would think that you would see a bit more of that this week, but everything just nothing was working out, and so you really didn't see any positive from that at all.
I think with Danny, kind of had me laughing. I like this one, Danny. Commanders defense made JJ McCarthy look like Dante Culpepper with the get your roll on flow. Shaking my head. Everybody knows, full transparency, I'm a Michigan fan, and JJ McCarthy is one of my guys. So I wasn't like I felt like I hope, and this is something I said before. I think I did a show with Dujane. We were talking about this, and I said that I hope Commander, like the players, didn't like underestimate like Minnesota's offense with JJ McCarthy, but because obviously his season has been out there in terms of having a bad season, bad rookie year. This is like a rookie year for him, and going into that thinking that you're going to, after what you did against the Broncos, not thinking that you're playing against a Minnesota Vikings team who is struggling offensively, especially the week prior with the other quarterback that they had out there. And it looked like it got for my, because I didn't watch the game yesterday. I watched it today, so I wanted to make sure I was ready for the show. I watched it today, and it just looked like they just worked. Folks that probably agree in the chat, they were outcoached. Thoroughly outcoached. From offense to defense, they were outcoached. They had a game plan. Washington couldn't counter it or didn't try to adjust to it, but Minnesota did a good job scheming up for this Washington Commanders team. So but yeah, JJ, I'm not surprised. I've said this before. Like I think JJ will be a really good quarterback in this league. So to answer Daniel's question, I'm not surprised that JJ was able to do that against Washington. But also I think to play a role in that, I think I think that this team didn't take JJ serious enough, and that's why that happened to them.
I mean, I totally agree. I'm really high on last year's quarterback class. Like everybody, I know everybody, picks and chooses who they prefer.
Of course.
For me, I was like, I think they're all dope. I'm talking about Caleb, Jaden, Michael Penix, JJ McCarthy, Drake May. I have nothing but positive things to say from their rookie season to now. There's each one has had a different storyline, including Jaden, right? We talked about last year, how their rookie seasons went. We can talk about this year, how their second seasons have gone so far. And it's based on a variety of different variables, right? For some of them, dealing with different coaches, several of them dealing with injuries, right? JJ McCarthy being one. And now Jaden is the other, Michael Penix, now dealing with an injury. So I'm high on that rookie class. I really am, in that draft class, because they're not rookies anymore. So that draft class of quarterbacks. But to that point, that's why I said no. I want to go back to some of the things last week because Cliff Kingsbury was asked about Brian Flores' defense, B-Flow.
Yeah, B-Flow.
It is a B-Flow.
Yeah.
And Coach Quinn was asked about the Vikings as well. So let's get into those clips. Because much like we've done in the past, when we bring these clips to light and bring them to everyone's attention, hey, listen, the answer is there. They say the answer. So that way, when you see it on Sunday, because I immediately saw it, I said, oh my gosh, they're getting outcoached. They know their whole playbook.
They knew it.
They knew it. They knew it. I mean, they knew it. And so, let's go into this one when Cliff Kingsbury was asked about Brian Flores' defense.
Hey, Coach. What makes a Brian Flores-led defense so difficult to go up against?
Yeah, they're always really physical, really tough, and then he's so multiple on his fronts and his pressures. Each week you're seeing something you haven't seen before, and so it's really hard to prepare for. It's almost like you need to do what you do well and do it at a high level because you don't know what's coming. But I've always been impressed by B-Flow and the way those guys play, the tenacity, the physicality, and then just the scheme is a challenge just because every week it's a new pressure and it's a new front dialed up that you have not prepared for. So a lot of unscouted looks.
Might put into the kind of the offense this week when you go up against a guy like that?
Yeah, there's things you're going to try to counteract it with, and like I said, I think what we focus on when you're going against a guy who's that multiple and does so many different things is say, what do we do really well, and kind of lean into that.
So with that being said, he said it.
Mhm.
He said they changed it so much. It's something that is dialed up that you hadn't prepared for.
Mhm.
That's what happened yesterday. I'm like, Coach, you answered the question. And then he turned around and did something that you said that he was capable of doing. And that was you not being prepared for it. Now, when I went back and listened to it, I listened to it then. And that was why one of the keys to the game was do what you do well, but hey, don't overthink this. Because from my perspective, in instances like this, yes, the offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, can be a mastermind of creativity. But at times, they're expecting you to be the mastermind of creativity. That is something that you do very well. But just do the common sense thing. Just do the logical thing. Just do the thing that makes sense. Yes, Jaden does a lot of things very, very well. But guess what else? He's coming back from injury. Do what is going to be the lightest load on him, but give you the most burn for your money. Whatever I'm trying to say right now.
Understand? Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? It was
Yeah, I got
like,
you.
yes, do what you do very well. But if you already know this is somebody that's anticipating that, it can draw up something that is disguised that you haven't seen.
Yeah. I think because I want to answer something to Santiago. I think Santiago said this when listening to the clips. He says, "Why can't we do that?" And I want to say this, like, for real,
is that like being proactive and
no? Why can't we confuse offenses like that? I think that's what he's saying. Like, why can't we do that? And I've said this about multiple coordinators, depending on who you are. It's just like in life. Like, there's levels to this. You know what I mean? There's levels to this. And I said this. I've said this to my man Taj, who's in the chat, that Brian Flores is a very elite defensive coordinator. It doesn't matter who he is going to utilize his talents or whoever is out there to the best of their ability. Period. Point blank. Period. And he finds a way to get the best out of them. And that's not any shade to any coordinator on his team. Not a shade to the guy who's calling plays right now defensively. It's just that there's levels to it. Some guys know how to bring the best out of people and know how to scheme up defenses better. Look, man, and it was said, and it had to be reminded to me, because I only looked at Brian Flores for who he is as a defensive play caller, period. But he's under the Belichick tree. And if you know anything, that's a mad scientist in his own right. So to learn from that, and he has his own image out of that alone, because he blitzes more than Bill would probably blitz. Like, he blitzes a lot more. But he is really good at scheming up defenses. So to answer that question, I know, like, when we see somebody else, we're like, damn, how come we can't do it? Sometimes there are people in this life that are just smarter than the next person. There are people in this life that are just better than the next person. Brian Flores is better to me. And no shade on anybody else. He's better than any defensive-minded coach on this roster, period.
Yeah, he's very, very good. And some people, they get better when they learn. I mean, it reminds me also of Coach Spags, because there was Spags in Kansas City, where they change. You know what I mean? They change. And so, and they're able to adjust. But I always get so intrigued by, well, if you know that about your opponent, why don't you try your best to operate accordingly, right? Because again, I'm not going to say that you're going to win the football game, but not scoring any points.
I mean,
That's pretty big.
It's something you said earlier. I agree with you. Like sometimes people just they just do too much.
You
I
just
didn't be
do too
real.
much.
Like second and 1 from the 1 yard line. I get like trying to get Jaden going. Cause I felt like that was more of a getting Jaden thing. If you want, if the opportunity is if you're trying to win a football game, C-Rod is killing on the ground. It's second, like, all right, you threw the ball, you try to throw the ball on second down. Was second down or third down? What was the play to Brandon Coleman? That was second or third down?
Second.
That was second down.
Maybe second or third.
Jaden held it, but that was Jaden's fault because he had to let that go earlier. That would have been a touch. Brandon Coleman was open. He just waited too long. But anyway, even that was a good play. Let it go. Let that play go. Run the ball and see that play. That was your play. Run the ball with C-Rod and let it go. After that, just run the ball. Run the ball, man. Like there's no way after C-Rod gets it to the 1 yard line. I get the play action on second down. I'm not going to knock that because you're not going to. Sometimes you want to run back to back. I get that. But you can't run the ball the next 2 times or one or the other, like at all. Like that's to me now. And I know Debo dropped the ball. People want to say he dropped it. He was a good pass. But now, but you know what? Make it easy. Run the ball in. There's so many different variables to that point when you throw the ball, especially on 4th and 1. 1, somebody can drop the ball. 2, one can get sacked.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3, the ball can get tipped. I'm naming so many variables right now. 4, you can bobble, like you can fumble. It's a shotgun, so you can fumble the ball on the shotgun. There's so many variables that can go wrong in that situation. Why not make it easy and just hand the ball off? And it's one, and you're averaging your chances of scoring there is quite high the way you're running the football in the game. So I just think again that dude was doing Cliff was doing way too much. And it's been a trend this whole year. He's been doing way too much. And he has to be, to me, that's one thing. Like, I gave him his flowers last year, but this year he's doing such a bad job, in my opinion, because of I don't know. I'll put it this way. I'm not in the building. I don't know if you're just trying to get a head coaching job or you're about the moment. Because the moment to me, because sometimes I'm looking at it, like when you look at plays like what we just saw over this weekend, it questions me to think, like, are you worried about the season in the moment, or are you looking ahead?
I mean, it doesn't. I don't get a sense of looking ahead because it doesn't look good. It's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're trying to do too much in the moment, and I mean, it's just you. Like he just said, you got to do what you do really well. Well, okay, you are super smart, you are super creative, but people know that about you.
Mm-hmm.
So just do the logic thing. Do the common sense thing. Just do that. And then it makes it a little easier on Jaden as well. That's how I look at it. And that's one of the things that I think you all have heard me say so many times. You got to find the balance between mad scientists and logic. And what I think I am sensing and seeing from other defensive coordinators when facing the Commanders offense this season is they're used to the mad scientists. They're used to the mad scientists.
Well, I think he makes life easy for him too, though. I think I won't say, yeah, I agree with that, but I do think he's making life easy for them. Like, I don't even know if they're used. Like, sometimes you're just trying to be smarter, too smart. Like when he, like going again, it's like I don't know, like these downs where it's like all or nothing for him.
Right,
that's the thing. I get
classic. It's a thing.
Yeah,
it is a thing. It is for sure a thing. It's like classic.
Yeah,
it's classic Cliff Kingsbury. Like whoa.
Yeah,
but that times out.
Yeah,
that times out.
I agree. I totally agree.
And it goes back to when we were talking very early in the season when dealing with so many injuries, and it was your healthiest unit are the running backs. Use the running backs.
Yeah.
And then it was all these pass plays. It was just I mean, it has been a repeat. It's been a thing. I think that the execution last year ended up happening because you were dealing with a healthy unit basically all season long.
Mm-hmm.
And even when Jaden did have an injury, right, with the fractured ribs, he still played.
Yeah.
And he still made it do what it do.
Mm-hmm.
And so did it mask because you have incredible athletes and incredible talent. So it masked like, this is not a good play call. You know what I mean? Like, this is bad. That wasn't the one I would pick. But since it worked, we just gonna keep it moving. Right.
Yeah.
But there were some moments, like you said, last year where it was like he called a masterful game. I think it was one like Tennessee, like when they played the Titans, that was later in the year, where some of those games were beautiful. You were like, good Lord, he called it great game. But it just
them games ain't happening this year. I ain't gonna hold you.
These
games ain't happening this year. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And now there's film.
Yeah.
Now there's film, so you didn't deviate from that either. One of the things that while we're still talking about this, and I'm going to go on to, because it is important to show when Coach Quinn was asked this question as well by Donna Hopkins.
Okay.
And so, about the Vikings overall and what they're going to see, because I think it's interesting to hear his response too on just the Vikings. And so, and talking about, the play callers they got over there, and Kevin O'Connell and B. Flo. Brian Flores. And it's one of those things where you have to change week to week. You can't stay the same. And if you think you're going to go out with the same MO, the same game plan that you used last week, the week before, 3 weeks ago, whatever the case may be, it is going to catch up with you. Your game plan and your scheme is only as good as your opponent for that week. That's it. That is its expiration date. When the game ends, that is its expiration date. You gotta adjust to your next opponent accordingly. And to your point, Wole, and you have to take everybody seriously.
Yeah.
Don't let these injuries. They take Jaden seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been hurt all season, so they taking him seriously. They say take them seriously. So let me play this clip when Donna asked Coach Quinn about the Minnesota Vikings.
And looking at the Vikings, when you look at last year, what they were able to do, and this year struggled a little bit. How do you see that team overall on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, they've got experienced play callers, number one with Flo and Kevin. And so scheme-wise, challenging enough, like just at the very top of it, defensively of linebackers that can blitz and get downhill, different disguises, different ways to play. So that's, a challenge in itself. On the offensive side, they've got fantastic skill guys, to make different plays in different spots. So combine those two things with good play callers, you can see, easy challenge where to go. And on the team side, good matchups. They've got good kick returner, punt returner. So all over, I see these good matchups that are going to be, high-level battles. As far as, last year to this year, focusing more, honestly, on the group for this year.
Use your clues on that one. And Wole, I saw a comment. Let's see here.
About what?
Let me see. I saw Paul's comment. JD masked everything last year. Absolutely.
Let me see that.
I think that was Paul's comment. Then I see someone that says, Nathaniel Johnson, that says sometimes they think they're outsmarting people, but if
Nate. I know Nate. That's my homie.
That's more, and basic football still works. Beautiful comment.
I love Nate, man. What's up, Nate, man? From the neighborhood, man. Spring Hill Lake, man. What's going on, my guy?
And then Paul, JD masked everything last year. And do you know this other person? Because you know me, when it's live, I be calling people out. Who's this? You know?
I don't know who that person is. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We gonna.
I don't know who that is.
I want to put it up there just so people can see how people be talking on these chats. Because
that's crazy. She good, man. She good, man. Go ahead. Continue. I ignore that type stuff. Go ahead, continue.
Especially when you got to work in these conditions.
Yeah.
So
look, man, you doing it. You cover this. You cover this team. You in there, so you keep going. Don't worry about it. We good. Come on, we good.
So then let's see. We can go into player scrums from yesterday.
Okay, I think that's dope. I would like to see that. I would love to hear their reaction of how that went.
We've definitely started some questions. I have Terry McLaurin, scrums, Frankie Louvu, and Bobby Wagner. So let's go ahead and move into those. Terry's, this clip is like closer to 3 minutes. So, Terry like to talk, and which is good. So let's show this one.
Hey, Terry, this was a tough room, a quiet locker room. Could you just talk about the feeling here right now?
When you get beat 31-0, that's not even a tough day at the office. That's just it's bad. You know what I mean? We still got our division games left. Just try to take it one at a time. You know, we got a Giants team who you throw out the records when you come to the division game. So we got to go on the road and do a lot better than we did today. Take care of football, sustaining drives offensively, creating turnovers, helping the defense get off the field. You know, all those things. We just didn't play any complimentary football today, and that was the result when you have a good team over there.
Terry, just knowing all the injuries you guys have
Yeah.
that
It sucks, you know, like, first with Zach, you know, he's one of the linchpins of our team, you know, just a leader who's been here for the last 2 years, who's really led by example and been vocal. So to see him go down, I ain't gonna lie, like it was tough for everybody, especially, you know, it just didn't look good. So I don't know the results. I'm praying for him. I know he's a soldier, and we just wish the best for him, but it was definitely tough to see him go down. And Jaden, you know, I mean, he's going to continue to fight, and you know, it's tough to see him get hurt, and you know, injuries is the worst part of our game, honestly. And you know, we got to try to find a way to just rally, support those guys while they, you know, go through their rehab process, and you know, the next guys have to be ready to step up. So you know, we got to turn around and figure it out for the Giants. But just sucks to see two of your best players and leaders go down. And, you know, they've been very supportive of me when I was hurt. So I'm just going to try to do the same for them.
Terry, do you feel like sort of that next step up mentality, but is there a point where it starts to take a toll on you guys mentally, emotionally?
Yeah, you're human, and you know you know, there's emotions in this game. At the end of the day, like, nobody's going to feel sorry for us. And, you know, if you're going to be in this situation playing NFL football, you got to be able to pick yourself up and figure it out. That's honestly what it comes down to. We got to figure it out, and whoever's out there is accountable for their production when they're on the field. So it sucks to get, you know, kicked in the gut like this, but, like, we don't got time to lay our heads and feel sorry for ourselves. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. I don't feel sorry for us. Nobody in this locker room is going to feel sorry for us. So, you know, you sit with the emotion tonight, and you come in and watch the film and be accountable for your piece in it, and come back better next week.
Yeah, like that Bobby Wagner, that Zach Ertz injury was nasty. That sucks. That was a dirty hit, because dude didn't have to go down. He didn't have to take that angle. He knew what he was doing. Not in terms of blowing his ACL, but he knew what kind of hit that could be, because that hit was that he could have went higher. He chose violence.
He definitely.
But yeah, I felt bad for Zach Ertz, man. Like, you know, you could tell that took a lot out of everybody. Though I mean, the game was already in doubt, you know what I mean. But in terms of emotionally, you could tell it was an emotional play for a lot of an emotional injury for a lot of players on the Washington Commanders. I want to ask you this question about this, and we can go on to something else. Did Marcus feel bad about throwing that pass and putting him out there? Because I felt like I could tell he kind of looked like he felt a little emotional himself.
Yeah, it was very emotional on the field, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to see, like, just Zach going off in the car. It's like the game was already awful.
Yeah.
And so then to lose Zach Ertz, that was terrible. And I mean, it was a lot of tears in the locker room after the game. It was a lot of tears. I mean, it was already a horrible day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like, and when I say tears, I'm talking about for Zach.
Yeah, exactly.
That was rough. And I shout out to him. He's been a joy and pleasure to cover, man. You know, and so everything that Terry said is absolutely accurate about Zach Ertz. And I'm gonna, miss seeing him in there for sure. Because he's a real deal, and he loves Washington, and he loves the Commanders, loves everybody in the locker room.
You could tell. That was being here.
That was heartbreaking. So that sucked. Let's go then to, I'm going to go to Frankie Louvu's scrum now.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of frustration. Just a competitor mindset. Everybody wants to win, so it's a lot of frustration. And we're just trying to find a way.
Coming off that Denver game, it seemed like there was some momentum in the locker room, and then you come into this one. How do you guys respond with 4 games still to go?
I mean, the only way to respond is just to get back to it. As cliche as that sounds, in this league, it's hard to win. And a lot of these guys, man, they put in the work in all week, and we're trying to find a way. As you can see, man, everybody's quiet like, this ain't us, you know what I mean? And we know what we're about, and we know what we put in all week. So to come out here and, to put that type of performance, it's frustrating all of us, even myself. And, it's just getting back to work, main thing.
I see her in a bit. I see somebody. I saw her. I saw her.
Oh, you saw her? Oh,
I
Mama
saw her.
Waller.
Hey, Mama Waller, how you doing? How
Yeah.
you doing? All right. I saw her. I was like, wait a minute. Look, we gotta do the Mama Waller shout out. What's up, Mama Waller? All right.
Definitely.
All right, but
I'm glad she popped on.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Candi. My fault. Go ahead.
No, you good. I'm glad I told you when she asked me, what they didn't score no points. How you gonna talk about them? I posted yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw it. But I was down in the tunnel when the players were coming off the field. And I have never, ever so far, ever since I've been covering the team, they were so quiet coming off that field. Nobody was talking at all. Not one coach, not one player, nobody. The equipment people, nobody was talking. That was quiet. And I mean, and Frankie mentioned that in the scrum, right? He kind of said it. He was like, it's quiet, it's real quiet in here. Like, I think I've said this in previous shows, which was, if I'm as shocked as I am by this, I can't believe. If I'm as shocked, I know Dan Quinn, Adam P, I know they are shocked, beyond shocked. I think JP Finlay posted this as well. I saw the same thing with Josh Harris and Adam Peters shaking everybody's hand. Literally, everybody, they made sure they got to. But I don't know, and I don't think they know either. I think everybody's in shock, and so I'm going to play then this.
I do got. Did you want to? I think Mike had a question for you. Did you read Mike's question?
Yeah. Let's go to some of the star questions then.
It's only Mike's. Here's the actual question for you. He says, "Do you think, Candi? Do you think it's time that Cliff shows NFL level plays for Jaden and get off the college level style plays? He needs to grow NFL level minded." He's basically saying should Washington go to a more of an pro NFL minded offensive coordinator for Jaden Daniels' progression?
I mean, they need it, as far as I
or go ahead. Yeah,
it's you need to play according to your opponent.
Okay.
So it's just a preparedness for your opponent because it's different every week.
Okay.
One of the things that I'm hearing recurring of what great coaching staffs are able to do is they're able to adjust to their opponent. You can have a scheme, you can have it, your identity can also show up in the different series of play calls and how you prepare for the week and for your opponent. Because see, in times I look at preparation overall, practice, all those things. Fantastic, amazing, wonderful. But were you ready for them? Were you ready for that? And it just, I mean, at least it appeared that way in Madrid. Seriously, it appeared that for me, I was like, oh, okay. Looked like not necessarily on offense, but I'll say on defense it did. Last week, I saw a bit more preparedness, a preparedness for the moment, preparedness for the people. But like yesterday, they got smacked off the rip. Like it was like someone just watched, and it's possible. Because now you've had a defensive play caller for what? 2 weeks, 2 games. all you really need is one. But once you
Mhm.
get 2 games, I know what you're going to do. I
Mhm.
can kind of already see some of the looks, some of what you're doing,
Oh
understanding
yeah.
personnel, all of those things. And then, hey, some of the looks, because let's go back to the clues from Dallas when I shared what Dak Prescott said. Hey, this was some of the same stuff, that I practiced against for the 3 some odd years they were here.
Steven got a question for you too. It's a good question. It says, from what we saw, does Washington keep Dan calling the defense next year, or do you go look for a defensive coordinator?
I was like, he needed to call the plays. What I do believe needs to happen is, who do you bring in as your assistants? Who is your staff? Because here is the reality, and we talked a little bit about this on the pregame. If you are the head coach and the defensive coordinator, here's the reality: you're going to need help preparing. You're going to need help preparing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, some of these offensive-minded head coaches that also call plays. Matt LaFleur, he has offensive coordinator, but Matt LaFleur calls the plays. The team looks like they have an offensive-minded head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, you would not have known who was calling the play. You know what I mean? It needs to look convincing. And you saw a bit of it in Madrid. You did. You saw a little bit of it in Miami. You saw a little bit of it, not for 60 minutes, but you did see a bit of it against the Broncos. But it just becomes one of those things where I think there needs to be some strong consideration about the staff and who is in support of the play calling. That is what I do feel very strongly about. I mean, you could keep calling it, but you need somebody to come in here and help you to prepare, because you have 2 roles now, and that can be very, very difficult to manage.
Taj has one comment, then you can go to the scrum. Said the regression of all the players need to be addressed by the franchise.
I mean, that's something we talked about earlier in the season, right? We talked about Quan Martin. We know that Quan did have surgery on both of his shoulders in the offseason.
Yeah.
So we talked about that.
Do you think Jaden has a regression? Do you think there's been a regression with Jaden?
I think Jaden has been out a lot
So
due to injury. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. Remember, I always bring this up, and I brought this up. I don't mind saying it in a conversation that Terry and I were having last week. They never had their week 3 game. They never had their Cincinnati game. They've never had it. What do I mean when I say that? Last year, they didn't score any touchdowns until week 3. And even Jaden's first touchdown pass was to an offensive lineman. And they were fairly healthy. They were healthy, right? The whole season. So they basically on offense for the most part, right? Yeah. Other than like Noah, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you have that time on task all through training camp, all throughout the practice, all throughout the games. And when I say they never had that week 3 game, it was the game that all of them were together. And it just clicked. They never had it this year.
I just one last question, because I think Paul he sent me this question. His team is, if this team finishes 3-14, they keep losing the way they're losing, right? Is there a world where Dan Quinn starts to feel the heat in terms of job security? Your personal opinion? It doesn't have to be with like your personal opinion.
You said it? My personal opinion?
Your personal opinion, not your personal opinion.
No, he's done too much for the culture. I mean,
okay, no, because you're there. That's what I'm saying. I feel like
I'm there.
I need to make sure you're there, so I got to make sure people understand it. But go ahead. Because you talk to Adam Peters, you see like all these individuals. I want to make sure like folks know. So go ahead.
It's one bad year.
All right.
It's one bad year. What he did last year, remarkable. Culture setting, culture building. I believe what happened this year is now you got a coach. Now you got to really scheme and game plan, because now people are coming after you. You are now the hunted. And that's what didn't go well. And the injuries absolutely did not help your cause at all. So Dan Quinn this year won horrific season, even though it's like completely opposite of last year.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, let's go to clips then.
Not after. I mean, I think it's and here's the thing. And I don't mind, because we all looking at these wild comments. And I got time, Wole. I know you like, I ain't got time, Candi. Don't do this.
I know DC Slim. He always that's his thing.
Yeah, that's how he talk, but people don't need to talk like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my thing is, everybody's used to trash and garbage in this town.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that's what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
One bad year, no. DC Slim, I'm not gonna fire you after 500 bad comments. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fire you. You can keep coming back. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Oh, sorry.
So it's just one of those things where it's like, dude, one bad year? No. Now, if there's some changes with the other coaching staff, absolutely. Because here's the other thing about it. Who are you going to get? Who are you going to get that play? That's like saying Jaden don't need to be the quarterback no more. What? Not when you know he's the draw. You know what I mean? Not when you know he's the draw. Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels are your draw. Say what you want. You need for players to want to come to this town and play.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think Paul, what did Paul say? I'm gonna go to clips though, real quick. I ain't gonna lie to you. We got clips, and we said 9 o'clock. Don't forget, Candi, we got 9 o'clock.
We are at 9 o'clock. And we are at 9 o'clock. But I was just like, who fired somebody after one bad season when you got like
look, I think firing somebody after one. I'm with you. I'm not going to impose you. Like,
that's why I'm like, man, Wole, you could say now, hey, if you do it next year, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute.
Well, I mean, this is what I said. Like, this is what I said. This is what I said. I don't have this is the thing. I'm not in the building, so I'll say this much. I don't have a care left or right, whatever. If you're going to fire somebody, if you're going to fire somebody, if you're going to fire somebody, period, you better have a better replacement in mind. Like, you better have the person. Like, you're going if you're going for instance, if you're going to fire somebody because you want Bill Belichick, then yeah, like, I ain't going to be mad at it. Like, Bill Belichick, right? That's a GOAT, a modern day GOAT. But you're going to fire somebody for somebody you don't know, the unknown, then I'm like, then I start to feel a certain way. But like, this is my thing. The way you finish, it's going to give you a nasty taste, but that's more in year 3 than year 2, and not going to be what you do in year 3 halfway. Like, you struggling halfway in year 3, then that talk really starts to get real. But right, like, to your point, I'm all about, and I said this to my man DC Slim. Appreciate you, DC Slim, and just because you support. So I appreciate you because you always tap in, but on all platforms. But I will say this, that like, my thing is, like, I only speak on like what can really happen rather than what folks want to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact, like, I feel like my football, me watching football all my life and seeing how coaches work and how the situation work, I know that people don't get fired after 2 years, especially if you took your team to the NFC Championship game. I know that doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't, and I'm gonna magnify it this way. It doesn't happen with good NFL owners. Like, the ones you respect, it doesn't happen. So that's all I'm saying. But all in all, like, that's it. I get where people are coming from. Yeah, reality versus fiction. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, that's my thing. Reality. I'm a reality-based person. I don't really get into what ifs or whatever. Because there's a lot of things I want in life that, like, for a football team that I know they ain't going to do. So why even talk it up? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I roll with it. But yeah, let's go to clips, man. We gotta.
Yeah, let's go to clips. I appreciate that for bringing that reality perspective of dog. It's just not gonna happen.
Bobby, obviously, that's about as difficult as it gets. What's the temperature in this room now?
Obviously, it sucks. You know, felt like we had a good week of practice, and the game didn't go the way we wanted. You know, we had some guys go down. And so it's just unfortunate.
when they're able to start hot like that and just keep converting third downs, and then you guys just have to stay on the field, how much harder does it kind of compound in those situations?
It definitely makes it tough for us. Whenever we, not getting stops on third down, we're putting ourselves in good positions, but not executing to get off the field, and it extends the drive. And I think one of those drives was 20 plays or something along those lines. So we just can't do that, and we have to find a way to get off the field.
Last week, surprised where you guys are. Is this another step on the level of surprise for you guys?
It's hard to process right now, but it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate where we're at. We have a lot of good guys in this room, and just hasn't worked out thus far.
It is really, really baffling. I'm like, and it makes you wonder, in a perfect world, if everybody's healthy, what does the season look like? It's not like they're undefeated. You really don't even want to look at that. You know what I mean?
Well, I think I'm gonna lie to you. So this is my thing. In a perfect world, I think there will still be struggles defensively, because I'm not a big believer. Like I was all transparency, wasn't a big believer in Joe Witt last year. Like period. That's right. And going into this year, I felt like I didn't like personally. I said this before. I didn't like the moves they made defensively, because I felt like in the offseason, because for the coach, like Candi, like I said earlier, there's levels to this, right? I feel like if you want Joe Witt to be successful as defensive coordinator, then you got to bring in top level dudes, not dudes that you're just good quality players, but top level dudes that change the game, period. Not guys who you feel like play good in this role or did good in that role. I'm just like, you need game-changing dudes. That's gonna make Joe Witt's life a little easier, to a point where he doesn't have to worry about scheming up something perfect. Like, his guys are talented enough to overcome it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't like the moves, period. So now you got a bunch of guys who are plug and play. Some guys that you're banking on. Some guys you're trying to take a risk on, hoping that it's a high low risk, high reward type of situation, but that doesn't help the totality of your defense, right? So going to the season, I was like, damn, we got to outscore people. That's how I looked at it. We just got to outscore people. That's just what it is. That's what it's going to be. And so I didn't think, like, I didn't have this team being like, I did say this. I felt like, because I let people kind of spit a narrative, and I was like, fans, I'm talking about like fans and whatnot. And I was like, all right, if this, because they were trying to tell me, trying to gas up Joe Witt to me. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. I said, if Joe Witt can get this defense to be a top 15-ish and turn the ball over, I was like, this team would be like a Super Bowl bound team. I mean, that's how I looked at them. But then when the Giants game hit, I was like, oh yeah, it looked good. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, yeah. But again, that was Sierra's husband, so I was wrong. That was Sierra's husband. So after that, when the Packers game hit, I was like, oh, okay. We still kind of like, we not far off from what we were last year. And then when the play increased in terms of quarterback play and offenses, when we saw those type of teams, we saw the Raiders. Raiders are a struggling team. So you know what I mean? But when we started seeing high level quarterback play, that's when I was like, nah, we gonna struggle. It don't matter who was in. Truth be told, it don't matter if 5 was out there. It didn't really matter. It was just like, and then also to that, I know injuries hit, but teams adjusted. It is what it is. Like, they adjusted to what Cliff was doing. So I don't think we wouldn't be this bad. I agree with you on that. I know we wouldn't be this bad, but I think we would have our struggles. Our struggles.
Oh, for sure. I think we had already talked and had already agreed the team was not going to have the record they had last year. Because the schedule was harder. Yeah,
definitely. That too.
The schedule was harder. Yeah. And then it not only was the schedule harder, then to your point, it was the roster. And again, to your point, the defense wasn't good last year. And we talked about that. That's why I went on such a long tangent and tyrant after week 4. Yeah. It's Atlanta. I was like, it's about to be all out there now, because Jaden can't get you out of it.
Yeah.
You know, he can't get you out of this because he's not even in the state. So I remember I said all that. Jay can't get you out of this one because he's not here in the state. But that was where it was illuminated. See, this defense is not So it's not it. I think he was great in terms of how he did press conferences. He would tell you stuff when you asked him, but just the overall scheme and game planning, it wasn't going to work. And then the pass rush started going down injury wise, and then that was it.
Right, so he had to go 9-8. I think 9-8 is yeah, I can see that 9-8. I just didn't think. I just felt like even like I didn't feel like I didn't even like what we did. Like, all right, so I mean, full transparency. I know people love Noah Brown. Some people love Noah Brown. I'm not a Noah Brown person. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not, and it's not because I don't view Noah Brown the same way. It's not like I don't view Noah Brown as like a third receiver. Like I view him as a fourth receiver. That's because of availability and like career production. Like I don't look at somebody you should bank on somebody that's always hurt to be a playmaker for you. Like you know what I mean? Like I think there's certain things like everybody knows how I feel about like McCaffrey. Like you're banking on him to be like a big player for you, or you're banking on a rookie and Jalen Lane to be somebody for you. You know what I mean? Though I do like the rookie. Don't get it twisted. I like Jalen Lane a lot. But I'm just saying, like you're banking on these players, like especially in the situation with Terry, like Terry going to be out, so you're relying just on Debo. To me, it like you went into this offseason like not prepared for the smoke you're going to get.
Right. Yep. That's what I said. That's one of the things I've been saying from the beginning. Yeah. They didn't adjust to being the hunted.
I love that one. That's
you always said we're hunters. Okay, but at some point you can be a hunter all day. Yeah. At some point you're going to be hunted. You have become a team to beat. So now people are going to want to beat you. They got all these primetime games. People, hey, hello, you're no longer under the radar. You overachieved. Like, let's be for real. They way overachieved. They did an amazing job all the way to the NFC Championship. You did exactly what teams want to do and should do. And guess what? We're seeing teams do exactly what the Washington Commanders did last year. You're seeing the Denver Broncos kind of do it with their new staff and coaches and a newer rookie. You're seeing it happen in New England. You're seeing what a change in Chicago is done for Caleb. You're seeing it now. Why? Because it's new and it's fresh. That's why you're seeing it, right? So why was there not a call out for the change in just direction and being proactive? And I think what ended up happening was proactivity, not really there. Injuries happened at the same daggone time. And now you're scrambling you were already plugging and playing, but now you're definitely plugging and playing because your people are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Jaden got hurt week 2. Terry got hurt week 3. Noah got hurt week 2. Austin Eckler, Dietrich Wise, week 2. You started feeling the injuries week 2, and now your balance is off because you can't effectively plan anymore because you don't have all your pieces. So it's that level of the ability to be proactive and do what you need to do versus you just need to have the personnel and you need enough bodies on the field. And I think you just banked on that great health that you had last year.
Yeah, which you shouldn't know. You shouldn't be great. Yeah,
never. One of the things that we talked about in the preseason, Wole, and you know this very well, and those that have watched me consistently knows I said this loud. I sure hope no one gets hurt. I sure hope nobody gets hurt because that's it. And to your point, Wole, I'm not thinking, the schedule is absolutely not going to be what it was last year.
No, you're going to get a tougher schedule.
No.
It is what it is.
No.
Yeah.
And anybody who said 8-9 or 8 or 9 wins, that would have been a perfect scenario.
Yeah, it's crazy. I said this before during the off season, folks were giving like season predictions. And I was like I was hoping for like a 10-7 season or something like that. Like you're not going to get like what happened last year was like special.
That was special. That won't happen.
And like being in this NFL, it ain't easy to go back to back. If you're in a tougher division, like you're in a tough division, it's gonna be hard to repeat what you did last year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I said this before, even though I hate the team with a passion, like the Cowboys were going to get, the Cowboys going to be better. The Eagles are like the cream of the crop. It is what it is. They are. I don't really hate. I don't like it's a fact. I'm not lying.
Right.
And you can beat up on the Giants. That's one team that you probably could beat up on. But they're even they play tougher than they did last year. So like it's not like you're playing in a conference where you got a couple of bad teams, period. Right. So it's gonna be tougher regardless. It just happens like this year, Washington's one of the two bad teams in the division. So it doesn't but it's gonna be harder. And you have to kind of stack your team with depth, and you gotta have, especially the positions where you going into the season, you're gonna have some issues with. You know what I mean? Obviously, when Terry was talking about holding out, and you knew your wide receiver unit was kind of flimsy, knowing and you lost guys that contributed at a high level for you with De'Ami Brown, Olamide, Zacchaeus. You had those dudes, so it made and they knew the system. You lost those dudes. Now you're trying to replace them. Now you getting Debo was better. Don't get it was an upgrade. I love Debo. I love getting Debo. But then the other guys, you're banking on other guys to kind of to do what those dudes did as young dudes who really haven't done anything this year. Hey man, that's more on you as an organization not getting that situated. Like Jamison Crowder was huge for you last season. You ain't bringing him back in the building. There's so many things that you didn't do to help to me a Jayden Daniels or whoever was out there at quarterback or Marcus Mariota to make things a little easier for this team. It's just like I feel like they really looked at this offseason incorrectly. Put it that way.
Well, they thought they had everything they needed.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Yeah.
They thought they had everything they needed. They were very confident in what they had.
Yeah, they were. They were very confident. You're true.
That's very, true. Very confident in what they had, and so it didn't plan on being the hunted.
Yeah, Randy says arrogant. I mean, I could say that. I guess you say arrogant. I think arrogant is. I think it's confidence. I think they believed in what they had. Yeah.
And I don't think that's arrogant. It's just I'm choosing my guys over your guys.
Yeah. I wouldn't say arrogance. I don't know.
I think it's confidence. I think it's.
I wouldn't want to say. I think that you overestimated what you. I guess the same thing. You overestimated what you had.
It's just confident. I'm taking my squad over yours any day of the week.
Yeah.
And I mean, and let's be clear, they did make some changes. They definitely did make some changes, and you saw some players get better. I hated every day that Dorrance Armstrong got hurt.
Yeah, but he's always to be good though.
I hated every day, that Jayden Daniels got hurt. I hated every day that Terry got hurt.
But I will say this, I agree with you.
I didn't like. Now, in some spaces, you might have stayed two places that I think that could have changed some things.
Yeah,
you should have taken the kicker situation more seriously.
Oh my God, there's a lot of the
kicker situation.
Agreed.
And the defensive play calling. Those two could have helped. It could have helped.
Yeah.
But there's definitely was a huge dependence on Jayden by himself,
which I think was a false thing to do too.
And that just shouldn't ever be the case.
I agree, because I think that this is what was part of my argument for why I thought they needed to do more after what they did in 2024, because Jayden helped you get to a NFC Championship game. You needed to make life even easier for him in that process so he can still continue to grow. Because because I'm not gonna lie, Jayden is far from a finished product now.
No,
far from it. Even by watching last season, none of them are. But it's just like none of the quarterback, period. Now I agree. But and I've said this, I use him as a prime example all the time. And I want people to understand this. Patrick Mahomes said this. I didn't know how to read defenses. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes, and he had Super Bowls by this time within 3-4 years in the league. He's already won a bowl by this time. So this team didn't put enough pieces around him. I'm talking about high. I'm saying what I mean is I'm not saying like a Noah Brown. I'm not saying like a I'm not throwing shade nobody. Like like no, or is that not like they're bringing in top tier. They brought in top tier receivers for Patrick Mahomes early, like guys who had real ability, real game breaking ability to make life easy for him. They had Tyreek Hill, right? They got a Sammy Watkins who was a first round pick, top 5 pick when he was around. They brought in people to make life easy for Patrick Mahomes, so he wouldn't have to do all the work. Honestly, you had Travis Kelce. I feel like Washington, when they did with their young quarterback, they went backwards. To your point, Candi, like they went to a point where we're gonna put it all on him, and you don't do that to a second quarter. You don't do that to a secondary quarterback. You don't do that to him. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
No, I mean you saw it last year, and I mean it's and he's remarkable. He's remarkable, and. But I stand firm on, because here's the reality. You have seen now the offensive line get better. You know what I mean? You see that. And I think one of the things that is concerning to me about the fan base and what I've seen is everything was all good last year.
Yeah, that's the thing. I agree. I get what you're saying.
And now the fan base is fire Dan Quinn, fire this person, fire that person. No, what were the consistent issues? For some reason, you cannot figure out who the kicker is. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's
an issue. Why can you not figure out the kicker?
That's an Adam. I'm gonna be real with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? It's
that's
like
Adam Peterson. That's Adam Peterson's problem.
That's my point. That's a talent evaluation issue that for some reason the kicker cannot be figured out. Why is that?
But I could say this, Candi, to that point, though, you're right about the kicker.
I got a list of things. I'm gonna go through them, but go ahead.
Yeah, but Adam Peters, like I want to piggyback on that one. The reason why that's an Adam Peters thing, because that went beyond performance, right? Because of what the money was tied in, because of the money thing. The money that was tied into the kicker, now you have to play the kicker. Like you can't cut the kicker. You have to play the kicker. So even if Dan Quinn wanted to cut the kicker, he would have to go to Adam Peters and say, "Hey, exactly." That's an Adam like that kicking situation. If anybody that is an Adam Peters problem. Period. That is not even a Dan. Real talk. That's not a Dan. That's an Adam Peters problem, because you put that money, you allocate that much money into Gay. That's why he couldn't get cut. So it got to a point where it got so bad that you had to cut him. That's the problem.
And so
that's that problem. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I want people have to start looking at these things with everybody is there's certain things that we got to go to tally. Why is the kicker still not established? That is a challenge. Defensive play calling. Again, what was the issue last year? There was an issue this year. The defensive play calling was an issue last year. Why wasn't it addressed sooner this year? That's a big deal.
And Ellison got a question for you, Candi. He says, Candi, will Witt still be on the staff next season, and in what capacity? And will there be any other changes on the staff?
I mean, there will be changes on the staff. I would imagine. I mean, we already know one, right? Because the quarterback coach, Coach DeVito went on. But I've been saying, well, hey, I mean, if let's see what happens. But if he's continuing to be the assistant, which is the setup they had in Dallas, why would he be? But
he wasn't an assistant like that in Dallas, though. That was like Al Harris.
He was just on there.
Yeah, he was on the staff. Yeah,
he was definitely on the staff.
Yeah, he was on the staff, definitely.
Yeah, but what have I been saying for a long time? There's been a whole lot of conversation about defense, and I'm not understanding why the same energy isn't on the offense.
Oh, I think the energy is on the offense now.
It is now.
Yeah, it's on it now.
But for the longest time, I'm like, all this energy for the defense. This was supposed to be a high-powered offense.
That's true, Candi. That's very true.
The run game has been not effectively utilized the entire football season.
Agreed.
Okay, that when they were your healthiest unit. Even though they lost Austin Eckler week 2, that was your healthiest unit, and you did not use them. They have not at all been leveraged and utilized all season long. Like, make it make sense from the perspective of prioritization of issues.
Love it.
And that's how you have to look at this. Everybody wants everything to blow up after a year. No. Everybody's just happy as I don't know what. Everybody love Dan Quinn, love Jay, they love everybody. No, okay, that's great. But what are the consistent issues? And that's what it's like. All this, I would want people to start looking at this from a perspective of not reactive. Because if you don't have an answer to the problem, you got to figure out. It's like, okay, we naming all these problems, you got to help me with a solution. Okay, you can't figure out, well, who's doing the talent evaluation for the kickers? You might need to start looking at the scout team, figuring out what's going on there. Okay. But that utilization of the run game, when that's been arguably your healthiest unit, your utilization of even your tight end group, they've actually, up until yesterday, they've been intact the whole season. And you still haven't seen some people. Now, you can use your clues and figure out why you haven't seen some people.
I think everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that now. Okay. But even though, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to sit here and bash people because that's not even how I roll. But you got to be able to think about it in a way that makes sense in what can help you be better now. Right? Sooner rather than later. And you have to be honest about what are the when you talk about bringing in certain players and bringing in certain people, guess who they all like?
Oh, I know they like. I know a lot of people. Yeah.
So people want to get rid of the people that the players you actually might want to come in.
I know. I mean, I know Micah Parsons loves Dan Quinn. So I know the players out there. There's players who like him. I don't really get into the argument of when people say folks don't like. I mean, I know people like Dan Quinn. But
they absolutely, it's real.
I do think that I do want to ask you this question. You know, I mean, back to Zach Ertz being down. So him being down, are we going to see a lot of Ben Sinnott now? Because you mentioned players not playing. So do you think will he be tight end one?
No, probably not.
It still be John Bates.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I just want to ask that question. We got any more player stuff? Come on, I got time. We rolling so hard. I got time. Go ahead. Rock them out.
I think it's one of the things now. I think the appropriate thing to do, because here's what I'm not gonna do. If y'all already know something about me, CWall Waller from Bowie TV, I don't disrespect.
Yeah, who disrespecting you? Nobody disrespecting you here.
No, DC Slim is wild. And
he's still going. He done though. He ain't saying that.
Good. And so that's why I'm like appreciate the support. But some people, you can't be talking crazy when you talking to a person who in the building. Come on now. And so it's just like, nah, this ain't a fan podcast. We love y'all. I love you being here, but And so, and at the same token, you got a job to do. People been wilding here lately, and I get again that the fan base is extremely emotional right now, as you should be.
Folks love this team. They love this team.
Totally. But let me tell you something. I sat up in US Bank Stadium yesterday. A 4-win team at the time. Every seat filled. All I could see was a sea of purple. And I was like, wow. First play of the game. Right? They just screaming for JJ. They just everything, and they stayed. Of course. I mean, you're watching a massacre at this point, so you gotta stay because now you're having fun. But then it was like third down, they screaming. Ain't nobody quiet, like it's church. It's not that, you know what I mean? They just every single opportunity they had to cheer and root and just be all the things. I was like, this is what's up. And this fan base, I'm going to always say, is better than any fan base. I'm going to always say that. But when things are bad, and especially this year, I have not seen it be this bad in a long, long time. And I'm like, it is so like DC Slim. Like let's put the comment up there. And it's not fans, it's DC Slim. you can't talk to people like this, even in the chat. Like, it's uncalled for. And he goes, you can't talk to fans. No, I'm talking to you, DC Slim. The fans have been, I know it's rough right now, but like some of this, and thank you, Allison, some of this is not cool. It's not good. And these are the same people that if you saw me, well, some people, you know, like somebody was rude to me on the airplane.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I posted about it.
What it says you on the airplane?
Oh, you guys see the post.
Oh, okay. I mean, they spotted you. I thought I saw something you posted that they were nice. Somebody was like gave you a shout out to the hard work.
I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna just send you the post. I'm gonna see the post.
Send me the post. Okay.
And my thing is, it's a way to treat people. You know what I'm saying? Because if you saw Jaden Daniels, if you saw Dan Quinn, if you saw these people, you're not gonna say that to their face. You know what I mean? And it's just like, this is getting out of hand. It's bad. Trust me. It's super duper bad. But like, and for people to say that people bucket people, no, I don't have no problem with naming who I'm talking to when I'm talking. And it's like, it's wild. And people get tired. And Wole, you know, and I've had this conversation behind closed doors a lot. Because it takes a lot to do what it is that we do. And like I said before, get in front of a camera and do all this talking and trying to.
Yeah, especially like, or even like, honestly, like reporting, like being over there asking these questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so it's like, hey, listen, and if you're not a fan of the channel, that's fine. I appreciate the views. Keep supporting urban sports scene all day long, because Wole does an amazing job, and we appreciate him. But hey, listen, nah. So if you're not a fan of Bowie TV, don't be. That's perfectly fine. So yeah, it's one person.
I agree.
And so thank you for letting me get that soapbox in, because I'm like, nah, Joe, I don't like. People be out of pocket, and no, just stop that. It's too much. It's too much. I don't like it. It's getting to be a lot, especially when you have a job that covers a team that looks like this. I'm going
to play. Oh, you got it.
Thank you. And thank you, Dujanae, and thank you, Steven. Super appreciate that.
I mean, come on, Candi, you do a great job. So I do
a great job. I absolutely do a great job. One person will spoil the apple. It really will. And you be like, y'all can't let these people talk to Wole, you know, I would jump in the chat real quick.
So I see.
Real quick. Don't come on here talking nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is crazy as I don't know what. But again, DC Slam, we appreciate you. Keep following Urban Sports Scene. You say you're not a fan of Bowie TV. That's great. Enjoy your evening. I thought you said you wasn't going to comment no more, but since you still are, let's move on to.
Let's go to like the stuff.
Let's
man.
go to the stuff. You already know. I'm like,
let's go to the stuff, man. Let's go to the stuff, man. Everybody want to listen to like your intel of what you got about this team. What happened yesterday? Using Minnesota, man.
And if you don't want to listen to me because I don't agree with you and it's capping or it's all this other shenanigan, then turn. You can always turn the channel. With that being said, or just unfollow, unsubscribe, all those good things.
No, I'm just saying, let's go back to football, man.
Yeah, so we gonna go back to football in a minute. You know, I was like, I don't like that one person. Moving on, we do have to talk about what is on the team versus what is not on the team. At some point, you got to figure out what's on the team, because what we're not gonna do is just be like, get rid of everybody. So let's go ahead and go to the hottest topic, which was Jaden Daniels. Does he play? Does he not play? Last week, he talked to the media. So this was last week. So, you know, he ended up playing. So last week, he talked to the media. And here's some of what he said, if you haven't heard that clip already.
You know that there's a segment of players that does not want to. They'd rather you go the next year healthy. What was this? Why is this, you feel, so important to you to play these games?
mean, who's to say I'm not going to go in the next year healthy? We're taking it one day at a time, one game at a time. So for me, it's like I love this game, man. Before I was getting paid, I was playing it for free. So who am I to not go out there and not have that passion for the game? So for me, I'm a young guy. Still trying to develop, still trying to learn, and these games are critical.
So Steven says he thinks he plays against Dallas. I saw him after the game. He looks perfectly fine. His mom was mic'd up.
Oh, she was there too? Oh,
She was there. She always there. So she was mic'd up for NFL film. So we'll see.
Oh, she's on NFL film? She's getting mic'd up?
She was on NFL films.
Is this for Hard Knocks? Oh, she just NFL film. Is this Hard Knocks?
For Hard Knocks, yes. For
Hard
Knocks.
Up for that too?
And so I don't know. Eric says he needs to play. So let's definitely see what ends up happening. He is on the media schedule to talk to the media this week. Dan Quinn said today he doesn't know if he's going to play or not. George said JD5 is playing next week. That's what everybody. Well, what say you? What you think?
I don't think he should play, but Eric kind of feeling. I ain't trying to put that out there in the ether what Eric said. But I agree. I don't think he should play. I'm kind of on the side of like what there's so much with his type of injury and the way his style of play, like him, we just saw it. He goes down, he gonna brace it, that elbow. He thinking about that elbow. He's still thinking about it. You saw it in Minnesota. He still thinks about it. So you're not gonna be comfortable to run. He likes to run. He can't help it. You may, and for Cliff's offense, I don't even know if it's good for him in Cliff's offense to even be out there, to be real with you, because in Cliff's offense, the quarterback, for his offense to work correctly, the quarterback has to be able to kind of run some of his design runs. And if you're cautious about Jaden, about how Jaden's going to fall or how he's going to have to react when running, it ain't really beneficial for Cliff's offense. And I'm saying it's for Cliff's offense. So I'd rather you sit him out and see what's up next year. If Cliff's in the building or not, you know what I'm saying, with Jaden. But I'm just saying, like, you're asking for him with that elbow, and we saw in minutes. We all ain't blind. We saw him favoring that, looking at that, messing with the equipment on the arm. So obviously, it's in the mind. You know what I'm saying? When he fell down after he threw the pick and tried to run him down, and then he lands on it, that can happen easily just by him running the football, and he can land awkwardly. So I don't think he should be out there, to be honest with you. I think it's too delicate. And Cliff's offense isn't he said it already. He wants his quarterback to run out there. So that's his offense, but that's always a part of his offense. His offense is always predicated on a mobile quarterback. So if you take that away from him, his offense ain't like that for real. I'm gonna be honest with you. It ain't like that for real. So I'd rather him not even play if it's gonna be that cautious. If he's gonna be that cautious, because I'm gonna be real, scared football ain't good football, and he should be fearful because that injury was nasty. So he shouldn't be out there.
So there's a lot of different opinions in the chat on whether or not he should play or not.
Yeah, I see. So you got did you pull some of these up already?
Yeah, I pulled some of those up already.
All right. Okay, you got C. Hartman or Josh. Yeah, I know that's the thing. See what Hartman or Josh Johnson have to back up behind Marcus. I mean,
yeah, I put some of those up. I mean, they're division games.
Yeah.
So it's like the reality. It's a division game, and I mean, if he's healthy, he's going to play. I mean, there's just if he's healthy.
I guess my thing is, what is healthy, right? Because are you talking about like cleared healthy? Because that's like all right.
Cleared.
Oh well, I mean, he's still not. To me, if you still got to do this all the time.
But I guess, but I think it goes back to what we always saying, or what everybody is always saying. You can't have all the things, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So you need to see what you have in your young guys.
I know.
If this is something that everybody is learning about his style of play, how he is, his reaction, whatever those things, you need to know that.
Oh, Shelly, appreciate you.
Thank you, Shelly.
Appreciate you, Shelly.
And so I think that's kind of what it is. You know, I think that's what I think.
Yeah,
You need to know. You need to know.
Shelly said, Cliff did not adjust to the blitz and abandon the run when he needed it. Worst game for Cliff by far. Oh, yeah, I think it was the worst game by Cliff. I agree.
Easy.
That was the worst game.
Easy.
And he's had some bad ones, too. I'm not going to lie to you. He's had some bad ones this year, but that was the worst by far.
Definitely. Now, let's get into some more clips, shall we?
Sure.
Again, because we got to talk about what you have. You got to talk about what you have.
Yeah, exactly.
The young guys and what's going on and who's there, what people have. So I did ask Coach Quinn about Mikey Sainristil last week.
Oh, Mikey, yeah, my man Mikey.
Hey, Coach. So I'm going back to the point of the secondary. I know we talked often about Mikey Sainristil. What have you seen from him from last year to this year? Just how he is handling overall the leadership responsibilities, the adversity. There's been a lot of changes in that.
Yes.
Due to injury.
Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs. And I thought, here's what I was proud of for last week. I thought for the season, I thought that was probably his best game. And it may not have had an interception or, like a big play, but in tackling. Just because it didn't go your way doesn't mean they weren't trying you. And so that was, I thought, his best performance. When you just feel like you're on it and you're on it, that's what I felt like from him. There was a fantastic tackle over on the sideline and a 2-minute drill. But that's where I thought, I felt, here's his best, and he was he had sight of that, what he could look like and how it could be. And so that's a really important thing. Can we do that again? Can he stay consistent with that? And so through the ups and the downs, those are lessons that, you have to go through. They oftentimes are really hard because, why did that happen? And that stresses you in leading, when you're searching for consistency. And so last game, I was proud of that performance from him, Candi, and it was really consistent. May not show up on the stat sheet, but it was very consistent.
So we saw what kind of day he had yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
which was one of the things that I was concerned about because we all know he knows JJ very well and vice versa.
Well, okay, go ahead. You thought it was bad though? I mean, he could be on it. I mean, I don't think he was bad.
I don't think it was bad, but it wasn't good. So
it wasn't great. It was
a hard day. He was going to have a hard day in the office, and he had a hard day in the office.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I thought it should have been much worse. I ain't gonna hold you. But the reason why I say that,
at one point I did,
because you're going against, this is the thing. You're going against elite talent. You're going against Justin Jefferson. He had the pass breakup, the PBU against Justin Jefferson, which I one-on-one. You and that man, and you knocked the ball away. That's funny, Taj. I ain't gonna hold you. That's funny as hell. You got that, and then you had but you're going against Addison. These are that's the best tandem, one of the best tandems in the NFL in terms of wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been it wasn't. It could have been horrible, for real. And he wasn't anybody different to me. I guess it wasn't any different. Other than the play, I think he was slightly late, but he still made a contested play on the tight end for that touchdown. Other than that play, I felt like Mike, he's still 10 times better on the outside than he was on the inside. Put it that way. He's 10 times better on the outside than he was on the inside.
Yeah, so you all drop in the comments. We're gonna go into some more questions about some of the other guys, and then we are gonna shut it down. Even though, thank you for it's 9 p.m. Because
that's Taj. You're being funny. Taj being funny
because it is 9. I was 9:03 now.
Taj being funny. I fooled
Cliff
you.
was asked about Ben Sinnott last week, so let's check out.
Oh yeah, please. Yeah,
what have you thought about Ben Sinnott's development as a pass catcher?
Yeah, he can do that. There's no doubt. I mean, he's a dynamic player in space for that type of position, can create separation, all those things. It's a tough room when you have one of the all-time greats in there that we lean on in those situations, but he's progressed just the way we want.
Oh, he said that's some positive stuff.
Positive stuff.
He good in space. I mean,
so put that on your list.
So Ben Sinnott. Okay.
I think it's something to make note about. Now, here is something else. This has been a hot topic. I've been consistently bringing up the run.
Mm-hmm.
Cliff was asked about Chris Rodriguez last week as well.
Chris Rodriguez has looked pretty good in the run game the past couple of weeks. What is it about his run style and what he's been able to do that has made him successful? And I guess why did it take until this point in the season for that success to start coming through?
Yeah, he's a guy who tends to get better as the season goes on, as the game goes on. Physical runner. I think he's always going to get you what's there. And then the first guy has a hard time getting him down. So I think he has a great vision, great feet for a big physical back. And then, like I said, that first guy has a hard time bringing him down. And so with teams kind of packing the box in the way they were when we were down some guys outside, I think he was a great answer for us. And it has just kind of carried that forward as we're getting these pieces back. I think things will open up for him, and I expect him to continue to have success.
So I think that's, and that's great. I think everything, of course, that Cliff said right there is accurate. But hey, I think to George's point, it's like, well, what's up with the snap count? So I mean, but those are things that, hey, listen, they got 4 more games. They're all division games, and people still got to play. And you still got to know this is where, and I shared this on the pregame yesterday. Well, it was like, hey, listen, it starts now. Well, you got to know what you have. You got to see what the mentality is. Nope, you're out of the playoffs, all those things, but you got to know what you got and who you want to utilize and who continues on, who is really up to that Washington Commander standard that we so often hear about. Cliff was also asked about Laramie Tunsil and like his impact on Josh Connolly Jr. because I think that has been another, again, going back to the offensive line, that's a lot of what we were talking about last week. But there's something to be said about how this offensive line has gelled over the year. Even with the inclusion of Sam Cosmi coming back in week 7, I think it's extremely important. Check out this clip.
Cliff, what sort of impact have you seen from Laramie Tunsil overall this season? I know he has a history of playing well, but now that you've seen him up close on a day.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. More than I could have ever expected, I'd say. Just the type of person, the type of character, the way he works, the way he leads the young guys. I mean, it's been phenomenal. And the play speaks for itself. You'd be hard to find one that's played better at that position this season. So he's going to get a lot of money.
And I know you spoke about Josh Connolly earlier and how he's played. How helpful do you think it's been to have a tackle like Tunsil to help?
It's been phenomenal. It's been everything. I think especially early with some of the tough times, he was very open with kind of his struggles on the field and how long it took him to develop and play at the level that he felt like he really belonged. And so I think having a guy like that he's watching really dominate most days, going through some of the same things he is, I think meant a lot to him.
I think that's something that everyone should be watching. I think at the beginning of the season, Josh Connolly Jr. got a lot of flack.
He's playing better.
Things. So for me, it's like you can still see where the engine is moving from a talent evaluation perspective. Because look at where Josh Connolly Jr. is now. Even the move from Chris Paul, right? I think it's something to be said for certain moves that have been made to make things better. I don't think it's a situation where it's like everybody just said forget it, or they're not doing any talent evaluation. They're not trying to get better. You can see things like that and using your clues and say, okay, they're trying to get better. They just, just ain't looked. They just ain't winning no football games.
Yeah, I feel like I like progression, to your point. So I like Josh Connolly. I think he's played better. I like that about him. I like the improved. I mean, it's not improvement. I've always been a fan of what Chris Rodriguez as a player. I just feel like they've been, for some strange reason, I don't know I don't know if he did something wrong to somebody on the staff or whatever. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, that dude, all he do is produce when he's out there. Like, truth be told, I want a game where they just really feed him. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, I like the split, but he's doing so well. Like, when he gets these opportunities, I kind of want to see him give the ball even more, to be honest with you. Because, and I know everybody came in this season gassed up for Bill, and Bill got potential. He ran a lot better, I felt like, in the second half of that game against Minnesota. So I'm gonna give him his flowers too. But like, C-Rob is really a problem, and he's been a problem against good defenses. That lets you know that he's good. The Broncos had an issue trying to stop that man. Like, Minnesota had an issue trying to stop that man. Like, this man is effective against good defenses. Like, he deserves more touches. And my thing is like, I don't know when his deal runs out. I feel like it should be coming up maybe this year. I don't know. Maybe this year it could be, but like we didn't take advantage of C-Rod, in my opinion. Like we didn't take advantage of him. He's has shown to have so much ability for this team and this unit that he should have got more carries. Like and in this game, he should have when the way he was running early, Cliff should have been like, all right, let's grab this game plan. We just give him the ball for a bunch, and we're gonna make them stop it. That's how I grew up watching Joe Gibbs. That's how Joe Gibbs used to carry it. He used to be like, all right, y'all gotta stop this. Y'all can't stop it, y'all gotta stop this.
Yep. It's like just stop running when they stop it.
Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. And they weren't stopping the run. They weren't stopping it. So
nope.
They
sure weren't.
So that's my problem. Like when you saw how he was running the football, your mind should have changed. It shouldn't have been hey, we need to do this. We need to throw the ball. No, we need to get the ball to 36. Like that's what it should have been. We need to get the ball to 36. Yep. So
everybody knows. I've been talking about the run. I ain't got much to say there because I've been talking about the running back room since August. So I've been saying it since August. It just hasn't materialized in the way I would have hoped for a full football game yet. So that's that. I did ask Coach Quinn about Tyler Biotage last week because there's been a lot of conversation. And then to my understanding, I guess, there was some feedback. Maybe fan base was talking about Tyler Biotage.
Some people's wild. Some people are like kind of down on him. I don't know why. I like Tyler. I thought I don't know.
I mean, I don't know either because I was kind of like, when you think about the changes, he's had to deal with the changes at guard.
Yeah.
Right. And so just changes in the offensive line, but definitely in who's next to him. I didn't understand the down on Tyler Biotage, but
people are down on him. It's crazy. Some people are down on him.
I'm not certain.
Steven. I'm not saying Steven is, but like some folks have been. I'm like, okay, all right, I didn't know that was a thing.
I have no idea why, but I definitely asked Coach Quinn about him, and here is his response.
And the offensive line is a hot topic this week. Tyler Biotage.
Yeah, first off, the calls, and like in a game like this is really important that the backs, the quarterbacks, the O-line, they're all in sync together and being decisive about that. And so a guy like Tyler, the extra meetings, hey, let's bring the quarterbacks, running backs together to go through it even before they do it with the group. So moments like that of like being prepared and being ahead, that's one of the traits that Tyler brings. Like he's always ahead. He's thinking about it. What's next? What are things? So like I like that when he's at the center of it all, directing it, that he's put a lot of thought. He's not going to get caught off guard. And inside, just having that presence, that's a big deal. This week, we're going to have to do a great job on our cadence. Our O-line has their ways, and Ty, he'll be right in the middle of that as well.
So I'd be interested to know, because I don't know what the negativity is around Tyler at all.
Yeah, people they act like he can't block him. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I don't know. That's the thing. To your point, I don't know where it came from, but it's out there. Some people don't believe him anymore. I've heard a lot saying he ain't good no more, and this, that, and the other. So,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know where it came from, but it came from somewhere.
Well, yeah. Well, we shall see. We shall see. I've been impressed with the offensive line as a whole.
Yeah.
So and I've seen the improvement and the progress. That's why it's such a shame, because you are able to see the bright spots. For the record to be where it is still kind of like, but you haven't seen this. But that is a bright spot. I'm going to play 2 more clips, and those are from Coach Quinn's pressers today.
All right, cool. Y'all were like, yeah, let's go to those. I got time, Candi.
Just kind of like, all right, this is still future tense. What to do next? And that is where I'm at in terms of, okay, what do you keep? What do you do? Where do you need to go? What needs to happen here? And it's a lot, and it's in all areas. I don't think anywhere is exempt. And of course, you couple that with looking at your schedule for next year to start trying to figure out, okay, who are you playing? I mean, you always play the division, but who else is there? Who else is around? So let's check out this first clip.
Just to follow up kind of on DA's question there, understanding you have the 4 games left, what is your timeline for like the evaluation? I mean, you've already made one fairly significant coaching switch in season. What does the timeline look like all right, we got to figure out what we got, what we don't have, both staff and personnel?
Yeah, it's definitely underway, JP, I can tell you that, because we want to make sure that we're evaluating, we're digging into to see those things, and already you can see how do we feature players, how would we do things the same, how would we do things differently. So it's something that he and I talk a lot about at great length, like you said, staff wise, player wise. So it's not something that we're waiting till postseason to begin. That for sure is fully underway, and also like a performance like yesterday, man, that sets you back, that stings, that's one that you want to get back to things right away, because like we missed it by a mile.
I mean, it's more than a mile, but a mile is good. A mile is good.
I do want to see him, to his point, to what he's talking about. I want to see young players. I feel, and I'm gonna say this, there's no knock on anybody, but I think at this point in time in this season where they're at, I think it's time to showcase some of these other young dudes and give them the opportunity. You're not really going to win any games. I mean, you may win games. I'm not saying you're not going to win any games. That's a false thing. But winning games right now, I think the most important thing is young development right now rather than wins and losses, because it's already a bad environment. You lost 9-8 in a row. Like, I'm going to be real with you. There ain't but so much that's going to – like a win right now ain't really going to make 10 times better. So, like, it's important to get the Ben Sinnott. And it's not a knock on like a player like Bobby Wagner, because I like Bobby Wagner a lot. So you know this, Candi. I like Bobby Wagner a lot. But I think it's time to get like McGee that middle, let him play some middle linebacker. So because I this is my opinion. I mean, not yours. This is last year on his deal, right? 1 year deal he signed.
He got 1 year. Yep. I
don't think Bobby will be back next year. Personally, I don't think like where the money is allocated and what they're probably going to do. I don't see him coming back personally. I'm not in those buildings, so I don't know. And I think if that's the case, if he's not going to come back, it's good to test McGee out in the middle and see if is he the answer at middle linebacker, or do you need to do something in the offseason? Like there's not a knock on Bobby, because this is his age. This is like, you do got to get younger eventually. This is just an age thing. And it's not a knock on the player, because I'm saying this about all the vets, like even Zach Ertz, who I love Zach Ertz. I'm not one of those. I love Zach Ertz. But prior to the injury, I had the same thought process. Like, all right, Ben Sinnott, you got to see what you have, because you don't know if Zach Ertz is going. This is the final year for Zach Ertz. You got to see what you have. It's for all these older players out there, like that's on this team, that you're gonna have. I've always liked Von Miller. Von Miller probably ain't gonna be here next year. I know he wants to be here, but the chances are you can allocate that money for somebody else. You got to allocate this money to go and sign dudes, not to sign younger dudes. So. Now, why not? All right, now why not try these younger dudes in these positions, and maybe they show out to a point where, okay, we can trust them next year to play this position, and then allocate this money to sign and fill another position. You know what I mean? So I think it's important. I'm not going to say bench somebody, but they need to get those reps in those positions, because like Jordan McGee's, like he's projected to be a middle linebacker. So if that's the case, he's a middle linebacker. So if that's the case, he's going to eventually have to play that. You got to see what you have if you're not going to if Bobby doesn't come back. Zach Ertz, same thing. Like with that injury, chances are he's not going to be back, right? Not to the coach.
I mean, it's December. So at any rate, you're going to have to go in a different direction.
Regardless. Yeah, exactly. So it's a cut.
Yeah. And that's why I played the clip about Ben Simmons. Like you have to. Like at this point.
I'm not trying to be cutthroat. The man just tore his ACL. So I'm not.
Yeah, and we not, you know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, and we did talk about this question earlier. Or Timothy, we talked, and I posted about it, about, the not running the ball at the 1 yard line in the different, and that's why I'm playing the clips about what, Coach Kingsbury said about Chris Rodriguez and we know the value that they see in Jeremy McNichols and what they saw in Bill and all those things and the why. And it's been asked throughout the season of the basically why not sticking with the run consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And they give it's beautiful answers, but you still don't see it. And I think that was kind of like George's point.
Yeah.
And like you just said too, Wole, hey, listen, it's not a knock to people on the build. It's not a knock.
Yeah, it's not
right?
a knock.
It's not, you know what I mean? And but you got to be honest. Like this is what it is. And this is a question that has been asked in press conferences.
Yeah.
Of at what point? That's why I played this one.
Yeah, yes, I'm saying I agree with
question,
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay. And
yeah.
So, and that's why I even asked the question at the beginning of this, which was, okay, here's where I am. What's next?
That's what you gotta project it for. That's what I'm saying.
What's next?
Yeah.
Who's next?
Yeah.
What's next? Who's next?
Like Jalen Lane should be getting a lot of burn. Like it shouldn't even be a thing. Like he should be getting like no knock on Noah Brown. But you got to see what you got at Treylon Burks. Like Treylon Burks, Noah Brown had more reps than Treylon Burks. In this situation, where they're at now, Treylon Burks didn't show you that big highlight play. He didn't show you he can make plays. He has more of a potential to be on your team next year than Noah Brown, in my opinion. So why not? And he's younger. Why not give him why not be showcasing him? Why not showcase all these other dudes at this point in the season where, again, it should be totally youth development. That should be the thing. It should be nothing but youth development right now. And because I think if you're a fan, for fans, I think that's something that you can endear fans to. Like we're gonna see these young dudes play, and maybe we'll see what they can do in the offseason. We'll see what they can do next year. That's what I feel like. And it's good for like the organization to know, okay, we're going to rely on this dude next year. He showed us what he can do. And it's better to do it now than rather than the last 2 games of the season. Like do it now when you're going against divisional team games where it's going to mean something to the opposition. So you know now they're getting that real bump. Like they getting real bump out of this. It ain't like, oh, people mention they players, this, that, and the other. They're going to get real bump out of the situation. So I just feel like if I'm Dan Quinn, I think the vets understand the situation. They understand. A lot of them are real mature individuals, and they know and they want the best for their dudes under them. Like it made sense when he said it earlier before. Like it's a balance because at that point in time, you don't know where the season was going. It's a balance. I get that. Like I understand that. But now it's to a point where it should be solely on the young dudes, solely on them.
Yeah, but that's where then the conversation gets tough, right? Because even when you do that, not the conversation gets tough for vets.
Yeah,
the conversation gets tough around can Jaden play?
Well, then he shouldn't I know you're talking about.
I mean?
Well, I think there's levels to it, right? To a point to what you're saying. I think there's levels to it. I know what you're saying, but there's levels to it to this point, to this part. Like, all right. If Jaden is healthy, I do agree with this. Like, if you're gonna make that, if they're gonna make that argument, Jaden is healthy and really healthy. Because if you still worried about your elbow, you ain't really healthy. That's how I look at it. But if you healthy, right? Then yeah, I get what Jaden was talking about. Like, I want the reps. I'm still a young guy. He said this. I get that. Like, that makes sense. That's to me as the issue, if not issue. It's for all fans. It's because what Jaden did in 2024, we don't look at him as a young player. We look at him as already an established player. But you're right, though. Like, I'm not going to act like you're not right. Like, because even me, I would sit him. But I get when he says, I'm not a finished product. When he says, I'm still developing as a quarterback and I need those reps, I ain't mad at that because that's common sense thinking. Like, I can't argue that. I speak of it as a fan. Like, as a fan, I'm like, stop. Don't play him. Like, don't play him. But I get his thought process, you know what I'm saying? So, but I do think to your point, like it's this whole, and Jaden's a part because he is young. You're right, Candi. You're right. Good point. Yep. It all should be about the young players. Period.
Yeah. I mean, it's you can't, and those are the kind of conversations, Wole. That's why I love having them with you because we can talk those things out like mature professionionals, right? And say, I hear you. Yeah. I hear everybody. But then that means then it's not different for Jaden. Yeah. Unless you're okay with Sam Hartman carrying it through for the rest of the season.
Nah, that's bad. You ain't getting no type of ball movement.
Do you understand? Exactly. So it's like let's balance the word. Let's balance it in reality. You know what I mean? And so it's, what do you have? Because you do have something. And to your point earlier, Wole, which was fantastic, and we've been saying that year one was amazing. Year two, now everybody wants to clean house, get rid of everybody. Okay, wait a minute, everybody. Hold on. And Wole, you said it beautifully earlier. And like I said, it's one bad year, you guys. But like you said earlier, it's really year three. It's really year three, which is interesting that what you said in year three, that's really what Von Miller was saying on his podcast. He was talking about all the things that could happen because they surged immediately, like in year one. Year two, the injuries, film is out, all those things. Year three, and if everybody want to clean house after year three, be my guest. But 1 year, one great year, one awful year. Year three is going to take, but like I've shared before, in terms of you got to know what it's like when ish gets thick. Because don't tell me.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah. Because you don't tell me what everything is like when it's beautiful and when it's roses and rainbows outside. I need to know what this is going to look like when it's bad, and who can weather that. Because I'm going to tell you somebody else who's done incredible and has been in this season all-weather player, and that is Jeremy Reeves. Revo. You know what I mean? There's some people that is like,
why he ain't get no play? Why he ain't get no burn no more? Is he still out? They benched him, right? He don't play no more on defense, right?
No, he play.
He play? He gets to lead. Okay. Yeah. I know because Will Harris back.
In general, yeah. I'm saying in general. Well, you know, Darnell Savage ended up being the one that got benched, and now he,
yeah. That's true.
He has to be released, and so now he's with the Bills. And so, yeah, it's like, what's next? Who's next? Right? Like, all right, young guys. All right, so Ben Simmons, Sam Hartman, who you want to play? But when you look at or listen to what like Jaden and what he says. Jay knows he's a young guy. And you said it earlier. Jaden still needs help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He still needs the help.
Well, I mean, I think that's why I'm to Paul's, like, Paul, all right, so, I mean, this is, everybody has, again, that's what Paul says, Candi Waller, the reason why I say clean house is to bring in an offensive mind, to elevate JD. I just feel this staff aren't capable of doing it, and I do have people that will evaluate him, and I do have people that will evaluate him. I think he's talking about elevate him. Sorry, I do have people that will elevate him. Excuse me. I think he has a list of people.
I mean, that's one of the things that we talked about weeks ago, which was who is actually helping Jaden to learn how to read defenses, how to see different disguises. And here's the reality: even when the best of the best it doesn't get it, you know what I mean? Not on every play, but his overall talent and athletic ability is what the team rested on last year.
Yeah, that's what the problem is. Yeah, that's the
issue.
It's the athletic ability.
His talent, his overall God-given abilities of talent and athleticism is what got him there.
Yeah, and I said this before.
Not just him, excuse me.
The team. I got you. I know you're talking about.
There has to be a part of this that now becomes the actual study piece, the film piece, actually knowing exactly what he should be doing more of, less of, all of those things. But who's there to help him do that? And that's where I'm saying I don't know who's there to help him do that. And if the person isn't on the staff to actually help him do that part of it, as well as the scheme and game calling piece of it, then we already know where there's some changes that need to be made.
Yeah, I see.
The ball.
You said JD holds the ball too long. I totally agree. That's a problem that he needs to get. That's the one he needs to fix the most. He holds the ball a little too long. He doesn't let it rip. Again, the Brandon Coleman, if he threw it early, that's a touch. I mean, I won't say because Brandon Coleman can drop it, but that's an easy quarterback pass. Yeah.
I mean, it's been there, but I mean, and so it just it's one of those things where it's just like you see. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff like why are there all these injuries and what's going on? And there was a lot invested in the training and all this, that, and the third. It's just a bad year. It's just super duper bad. But where, from a priority perspective, I would just say, hey, what's the things that are bad that were also bad last year? because now you have a trend of that was bad last year too, and and the wins covered it up.
They masked it. Like, and I will say, like, what masked it too was like at the time for Jayden, he had that superpower in terms of running through, like, running free. And now it's one again, defenses got hip. He don't get them good run lanes no more.
No.
So people forget that too. That's why I always like. That's why you gotta lean on other things now. You gotta perfect other things because now people are taking away those running lanes where now Jayden just got to solely beat you with his arm because he used to have both. Now you got one. So when you take that away, now you gotta be surgical with that arm. You know what I mean? Real surgical. So.
Yep. And like George already asked that question, wasn't that the play to Trent Scott? Yep.
Yeah, that was the play to Trent Scott. It was. Yep.
Yeah, it was the same play.
Same exact play.
And I knew that's why I didn't think it was gonna work. I was like, well, that's
and it did work. It was open.
It was open,
but Jayden took that 1 second. By that time, like that quarterback, like then he got quick, and then when Jayden paused, it was too late.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Paul, now you got it. 2 years, bad defense. Defense was bad last year. JD got him out of jams. I've been saying that. Jesus and JD Daniels got him out a lot of jams last year.
Yeah.
Those two, and that's real. So that and kicking.
Yeah.
And so what are your common denominators in those? Now, I would say questionable play calling and like the year two of just I'm back at the offense, questionable play calling. Some of the pieces that were there really got to do a hard look at wide receiver. To your point of Traylon Burks, I did see on the pregame. I wholeheartedly thought he was still going to get reps and get a lot of burn yesterday, and he did not. So I think I tweeted that out and I tagged the page. And I said I just knew that he was going to get some burn today, and I said, and he did not.
To not get burned after that catch. And to not get burned after that catch and some productive play when he got the opportunity when healthy was ridiculous to me. And I'm not, again, folks may whoever I'm not knocking Noah Brown or whatever, but I'm just saying in general, in terms of like, to me, this is real. Like Traylon Burks got way more potential than Noah Brown. That's just what it is. And it's like he's got the big body. Runs about a 4.443. He's a first round pick. He was a first round pick, and he looked like he hungry. Dan, Coach Quinn talked about it. Man, like for him not to get touches, nah.
It was a hard why. I mean, and that's just the interest. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because it becomes and it was kind of like, even though he was in for 32% of the plays, it was like a
decoy, yeah. Because Paul, you see, you got Paul hip to like looking at snaps.
I got him hip to doing
he got hip looking at
snaps. I got him hip to looking at the snap count. And I'm like, yeah, he in, but he ain't getting used.
This is Timothy, you're right. Yeah, I'm starting to lose fan with Quan, man.
And we talked about that earlier in the show. Quan, right? And I started talking about player regression, and we've been talking about that. I don't know surgeries. He's had surgery on both of his shoulders, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. Going back to Ben Sinnott, he had surgery on the shoulder off season 2. I don't know if those injuries have anything to do with it, but we'll just have to see. But to your point then of Traylon Burks, or what do you have?
Yeah, you got to.
You're the target. I need to know what it is, because that's what this is now, everybody. Now, when everybody says we need to see what we have, agreed.
Yeah.
You got 4 games to get these snaps going and for like targets and to understand what you do have. And as much support and everything that you can have for Jayden Daniels as well, because I think they're still putting a lot on him. I think there's a lot that has been placed on him, and every year is different.
Yeah, I just think you need to definitely showcase what he can do. Like, don't put that much pressure on Jayden, but also put guys out there who can make plays easy for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you got you got big bodies. You got Debo, Treylon Burks, then you got Terry. That's kind of what you want in the NFL receiving room. You want those type of bodies, and then you got the speedster and Terry. Like, it's a good mesh. It really is. And then, you got even more speed with Jalen Lane out there. I just think, that him not playing in that game, like I just had a feeling that when Noah, I told folks watch, if Noah Brown come back, watch. I knew Treylon was gonna get it. I knew they were going to limit his snap count, and I was like, that sucks.
Well, but then that goes back to what I've been saying in the comment that you just had up. So it's like, we always hire coaches and coordinators who outthink themselves. I've been saying that. Don't overthink this. Like, there's an answer. There's an answer. There's multiple answers, but just go to the common sense one. It's okay.
It's okay.
But it's I don't know why that does it. Why
it is okay.
Does it resonate? And creativity is cool every once in a while if you have to use it. If you don't have to use it, just go with the logic. Go with the common sense thing.
Paul got a question. So Candi and Wole, with these regressions, we are supposed to trust this staff for next year.
I mean, it's 3. To me, it's 3. I can only confidently say 3 regressions that were not due to injury.
Okay, because I would make an argument that I think that the reason why I think Jayden, for instance, 9 for 20 isn't good in any and that's not Jayden, and Jayden hasn't been sharp. Even like the Giants, for the Giants game they won, he wasn't sharp. He hasn't been sharp in one game. When he's played, the Cowboys game wasn't good. Like that's why I feel like you're right. Like, there's harder to get a rhythm, but in the games we got to see him play, he hasn't been like He hasn't been 2024 Jayden Daniels.
No, he hasn't. He has not been 2024.
The Bears game was good though. It was good. He's had the turnovers. The Bears game was had turnovers.
Turnovers, but
yeah.
But
the Chargers game was it for me.
I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. And I think it's just, you got to learn your personnel and know a person.
Yeah.
And I think he needs those reps. He needs that time on task. He needs to build that trust with his teammates. And they never got week 3 Cincinnati. They never got that game. You know what I mean? It's like everybody there were in game, the flow, the swag, the vibe, all linked up. Because remember, there were some moments between, even from the handoffs between he and Bill. Why? Because it's new.
Yeah.
He used to doing this with B-Rob. And he could even do it with C-Rod and J-Mac, but Bill is new for him. It's a new relationship. And I think those things matter. I really, from what I'm observing, feels like and looks like it matters.
Yeah.
And in terms of regressions, I've only seen regression in my. I'm talking about regression that was this year. I've only seen regression really on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
And that has been, I mean, you mentioned Jayden. So if we take, and like I'm saying, not due to injury.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
All day long about time on task, who was playing and practicing, who wasn't, and this and that. Those 3 regressions, defensive side of the ball, Frankie, Mikey, Quan.
Okay.
I think Quan, yes, regression.
Quan's definitely right. Yeah, Mikey.
I think
Frankie,
Mikey leveraged and utilized ineffectively.
We say Brandon Coleman was a regression.
Well, Brandon Coleman, yes, he would be considered a regression, but and then he got beat out of his job. I mean, they brought in Laramie Tunsil.
I feel like he's
he got beat out of his job, so that would be considered that. Although he's been well serviced as a backup.
I know. I'm with you. I don't even think he should be a regression, but
right.
I feel like. Yeah,
I think that's just who you had.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Candi. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So that's just where you went. But I think Frankie and Mikey was more of a scheme thing, which is still unfortunate, right? You still got to take a look at your DB coach.
Yeah, we said Frankie. She said Frankie. She said Frankie.
And so I definitely said Frankie. And so everybody else. I mean, you see. I think those are bona fide. But that's there, right? But you've looked at the offensive line play, and if you go back to Brandon Coleman, but look at the offensive line play, I think Bobby Johnson has still done his thing. The play calling has been a thing for me. The play calling and the being able to really help Jayden learn.
And Cliff got a regression. Cliff's had a regression.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because Joe Witt's about the same to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Joe Witt was about the same to me. He's got hands.
Exactly right.
Yeah, Joe Witt's about the same.
Precisely, Wole.
Yeah.
Joe Witt was the same.
He's saying
so that ain't no regression to me.
Yeah, that's about the same to me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Now the player regression. Now we got to dig deep into that. That's a case
Mm-hmm.
study. Like, whoa, how this changed? Okay, you know, and I think that was based on scheme and how they were utilized.
Yeah.
So, but at the same token, these are 4 or 5 people. And you can make those changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are 4 or 5 people. It's not the world. And you can make those changes and it'll mean a lot. I can't even say that there was a regression with the kicker because you didn't have to. I mean, you did.
No, he just sucked. He just sucked. There's a regression. Yeah, he just sucked.
You just
that
can't
wasn't.
figure that
Yeah,
out.
he was new. He was new to the team, and he was terrible. He was just bad. He was just bad off rip. You can't. There ain't no regression. You can't. That's bad off rip.
Exactly. It just you didn't even. It wasn't. You know.
Oh man.
And so.
Oh, this is Minnesota Viking. Is Dan okay? This is a Minnesota Viking fan asking this question. Is Dan Quinn on the hot seat?
I would like to no.
This is a Vikings fan.
But I would say this. I mean, not in the first year. This happens again next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think mid-season, if it's like they start off bad,
If this looks like this by week 7 or 8 next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. But right now, with the injuries, no. If they make other changes on the staff and you still end up getting this coupled with the injuries, we'll have to talk about it. But like I don't see how you go into the next season with this staff completely. You know, we'll have to see. This will be very interesting, but like not right now. I mean, it's a complete 180 for certain. Yeah. But while you still have Dan Quinn and Jaden Daniels, which are such a draw to some of the hottest players in the league, you got to make it attractive.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I was talking about Vikings fans earlier in the episode, since that was a Vikings fan that was there. And like I said, a 4-win team, US Bank Stadium is beautiful. For a 4-win team, all I saw was a sea of purple.
That's good, man. They got a good fan base, man. They got a good fan base.
They do. I mean, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were very friendly and kind. They were nice, good people, and they had all the energy.
They say folks from Minnesota are pretty nice. I've heard that.
So far, Green Bay Packers fans were delightful. Vikings fans yesterday were delightful.
Okay.
And so we'll see what happens. I think I don't know if I had one more, but it was all kind of the same thing around evaluation. Did I play the call? Let me see. Let me play this one more, and then we definitely got
all right, cool. We good.
Hey, Dan, obviously, if you could fix it, you would, but I wonder what you think about why in so many of these losses you haven't been competitive. Like, even last year when we lost games, it was one possession, it was fourth quarter, it was the end of the game. But in so many of these losses this year, you haven't even been competitive.
Agreed. Man, do I agree. That's been like highly frustrating to miss the mark by so much. When you're in a competitive game, you're down for the fight and you're in it all the way to the end, you know, you feel into that space. So not finding that rhythm together and not forcing someone else to get out of theirs is a big part of that. Sometimes you feel, okay, it's tighter and the margins get even smaller and you can feel yourself not making the plays that you need to go make. But it's a big topic for me. It's one that I'm digging in hard on, obviously, to find why, to make sure that, like, you know, that's our cause together, man, to make sure, like, that we are never in this situation again.
Well, I just think that, you know, I asked Coach Quinn a couple weeks ago, and then we'll definitely need to close this out, right? Because we've already outweighed our time dealing with negativity. So
hold on. Also, I want to say that the dude hit me on the chat and he said he wanted to apologize. He didn't mean to be disrespectful. He said he didn't want it to come that across. He apologized. He sent me this, like he apologized to you.
Okay, so just screenshot it. Let me see it for myself.
I will.
Let me see.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't lying to you.
I know you're not, but it's like,
yo, just let you know, but you can continue though. I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah, no, thank you, and I'm glad you shared it on the live because I said, "Hey, Wole," because Wole know. Wole was like, "I see." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm nice." You know, you're nice people. You can't upset nice people. You can't upset good people, good, genuine, nice people. You can't upset us. Hold up a second, because this is a hard message for anybody. You know what I'm saying? This is a hard message for the fan base. It's a hard message for everybody because this is bad. I ain't gonna gas y'all about that now. This is awful. This is terrible. And when you do look at what they did last year and then what you did this year, now going back to what I was saying, and thank you for sharing that, Wole. I do definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like going back to preseason, how angry Dan Quinn was. First preseason game, New England. And I basically said it on a show, and I mean, he's been mad all year. So then the concern becomes, you saw this in the preseason. Why? What happened? What has made it so difficult for the corrective action to be made? And one common denominator, unfortunately, is the injuries and the time on task being a real thing. But if you also have people that or individuals that are unable to effectively plug people in and all that's kind of a challenge, because you got to expect injuries to happen. I mean, it's football. So it's just, I don't know. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. It's been different.
All right, I found it. Sent.
No, Dan wasn't mad at the vibe of the team. Remember at the beginning of preseason,
oh, he was
the New England game.
You said he was mad though. You said he was mad that game. Yeah.
If you watched the press conference, oh my goodness. I was like, oh, he is very upset. And but when you look at that game, how many and that was the depth. Remember? That was the depth.
Yeah.
So how many games have looked like that game this season? Like almost all of them.
Yeah, I think somebody said that too in the chat. They talked about how blowout. I think somebody mentioned. I'm sorry, I didn't pull it up. Blowout. The last game of the season last year, what happened to be the Eagles game and the NFC Championship game. Blowout in preseason, and number blowouts this year in the regular season.
So I missed that. That's a fact. That's
that was a good one. That was so early. I forgot to. That was a good one. That was a good one. Sorry, I apologize for the person who put it out there. That was a good one too. I apologize.
That was a very good one because that's absolutely correct. And that's why I'm like, everything is about not wanting to feel like this again, but you're gonna feel like it again next week. And the week after that, and the week after that. And I remember saying Kansas City, and I got a bunch of flack for this. And I'm just like, this is why I'm like, well, what do you want? What do people want me to say? Because I remember saying this. I don't think I was here, and I said, this team may not win another game after Kansas City.
You agree with this? You agree with this? I'm kind of feeling that right now.
Well, that's what it looks like, but that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. But then it's like, but why though? Because some of this is like, is it the staff? Is it there's a preparedness issue for me, for what I can tell. It looks like a preparedness issue for sure.
Question for Timothy. Did you read this question? Which game was worse, Minnesota or the
Minnesota.
Seattle's game? Seahawks game?
Minnesota. I really, my answer is Minnesota, because Seattle, I was like, this is not going to.
Oh, because they were good. Yeah, I got you.
Absolutely. At that time, oh man, I was like, ooh, this is going to be bad. Oh gosh, Minnesota. I will be honest with you, y'all. I couldn't help but to feel like they got a shot. But I was always nervous about the defense. Let me be very, very clear. It was nothing because of the defense. Let me be clear about that.
Yeah, Seattle was expected. That's what they applaud.
Absolutely. Seattle was expected.
Yeah.
And so, but Minnesota, it was because it was all around getting your pieces back on offense.
Yeah.
So you at least felt like they had a shot. Now, I have been on, week 4 was my threshold stop for defense. Week 7 was my threshold stop for offense, because I was like, with this defense, the offense must score. And we knew at week 7, this offense got a problem with scoring. And when I asked Coach Quinn, this goes back to the question all the time, because I think you asked me this too. You said you were talking about defensive play calling, and I said no, I was asking across the board.
Yeah.
Did you consider calling any plays? Anybody? All of them? I don't know. On all sides of the football, as far as I'm concerned. But I knew that was going to be an issue because the defense just is not going to get it done. So the offense was going to have to score. And to have yesterday, they were only minus Austin Eckler and Luke McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
I think George said this is why people are calling for DQ's head. He was bad in the preseason and saw these problems and did little to correct them, and still prepared the same way.
Oh yeah, you can call for his head, but it's still unrealistic for it to happen this year.
Yeah.
That next year he's gone. Like
I think that
that's the same scenario next year in year 3.
I get
recalibration 2 of a demise.
Yeah,
sure,
Okay.
but calling for DQ's head and calling for a whole just sweep of everybody, because I'm going to assume if you're calling for DQ's head, you're also calling for the coordinators as well.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm calling for Cliff's head. I'm gonna hold you. I'm not calling for Cliff's head. I'm not calling for Dan's head because he's the head coach. I'm calling for Cliff's head though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am.
So you can't get everybody.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get everybody.
Oh, I know. And okay, that's why
right, I know you get it. So
yeah,
that's
I get like I'm like, to me, I get more realistically speaking. That's the reason why I'm like I got people I call I was calling for Joe Witt's head early. Like everybody know that for me. I'm calling. I wasn't like that for Cliff at first, but I'm for it now. Like I'm definitely. I've been in a way of saying like, man, Cliff probably get another job as a coach somewhere, so he won't even sweat it. But now I don't even know if he like the way he coaching. I don't even know he's keeping himself in position to get a head coaching job to a point where I'm like, all right, let him go then. Just let him go because
no, I don't think
know.
so. Because like we've always said, this film is a job interview for all parties.
Oh my God, yeah, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I totally agree with you. Like I'm now, my mind is changing to a point where now I'm like, I don't know if Cliff could even get a job, not even a college job right now. Like I used to be like, he can get a college gig. I ain't even sure anymore. But yeah. But I guess like you said, we can wrap this up. Okay, now I need to eat. I haven't eaten nothing all day.
Yeah. So much more to be seen, you all. But again, my mind frame, so you all are clear with me. I'm not. Who's here? Who's here? What players do you have? What players do you need? Who do we have?
That's all season talk, though. That's all season talk, though. Real talk, though. That's all.
But that's what I'm looking for on the current roster. Who can stand?
Yeah. That's what you gotta do. Like, yeah. That's what I feel like. I mean, to me, that's all you can do is like look at. Because you got to bring, at the end of the day, right? Like, this is the thing I believe in. I believe in, like, positivity. I get, like, when everything's bad and when it's a bad situation, like, we've had the worst of the worst, right? But now, as fans, we got to find something to kind of enjoy watching this thing because everything's been miserable, right? It's been, like, the expectations have gone left for fans, right? So, like, now I feel like it's a point in time where you kind of want to, like, lean on the young dudes. So I feel like if I'm the staff, if I'm like Dan Quinn or whatever, like I'm leaning on, because you be like, I can't imagine, like I'm guessing when the game against Denver, like I heard was that a well attended game by Commander fans? I heard a lot of Bronco fans. See, that's what I'm saying. That's my point. And like, now think about what you just said. You just told me how Minnesota fans were. All right, so I'm saying if there's anything that you want to kind of like capture the fans' imagination, get to playing young dudes and seeing what they can do out there, and they start to give you a glimmer of hope, then you're gonna get some of those fans to come back because they just want some type of hope. And if it goes to a point, you know how it is, like being a fan of this team for years. It's like, oh, here we go again. It's one of those seasons again. You get it normalizes everything. You know what I'm saying? It normalizes everything. So
it's almost like a case study because I was surprised. I mean, the whole thing was purple. They were everywhere. Their intro video is fire. That joint is lit. And then they had fake snow coming down and everything. I was like, yo, this is like the Game of Thrones in here. This is what's up.
Oh, yeah, because the Vikings type thing. They got that whole
I was like, this is
the Vikings,
days. Like, you know, it's not like a light show. Their stadium is gorgeous, Wole. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But
Appreciate y'all, man.
But that's a case study as well. That's a case study as well, because I don't know much. I don't know much at all about the Viking fan base.
Oh, I mean, they're a good fan base. It's just like,
and they're just
you got the
nice
Packers.
people.
It's like, it's the same. Chicago, even though they suck, it's a good, like, I mean, I'm not respectful. I don't know about respectful, but it's a good fan base for the team. Like, they'll follow their team no matter what.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was, everybody was up. I was like, I don't know how much tickets cost today, but they showed up. And so,
we become a fractured fan base. Like, the problem, like, we have years of losing.
It's a lot of pain here. It's a lot of
like,
pain.
so even you would think that, to your point, even you would think getting to the NFC Championship game would kind of hold it down. But now, once it go left, it's like, here we go again type of thing. So that we got that type of, it's honestly gonna take for Dan Quinn, if he's gonna be the coach in the future for a long period of time, I'm talking about, it's gonna take any coach for this team to get like 3 years straight of winning seasons to like lose that stench.
I don't know if I should tell this. I'm about to paraphrase something.
Yeah.
Because now all the games are running together. When Jaden hurt his elbow, what was that? Seattle or Detroit? Seattle?
Do we have his elbow? And he hurt his elbow? Detroit.
Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't know how much people get on the internet. I don't know how much they hear.
I don't get on the internet like that.
But like, Jaden Daniels loves being a Washington Commander, and so many of them do.
Mm-hmm.
And he just felt so awful. He just felt awful.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even about the pain of the elbow. It was just, he wants to be great for.
Oh, I think I've heard that.
He wants it so bad. He does, you know, he doesn't want to be compared to anybody. He wants to be him, Jaden. And he wants this. He wants all of it. And it's like he wants to put the whole city on his back, and he's just gonna help. You know, he re-injured himself yesterday, or not really. He had a bandage on it, but you know, he's fine. But he didn't try to make a tackle. Right, and it's like,
yeah, she ain't done that.
Right. Even the play where he got injured.
Yeah, she didn't done that.
The play was over. The play was over. Yeah, he kept running. He kept going. He
need to not do that.
Fighting so hard.
Yeah.
And so when people say, "Oh, the lines are blurred," this, that, the third, it's because I know for a fact how hard and how much he cares. How much they care. This isn't the situation where in past years these people didn't care. They didn't care.
No,
hey, give me my paycheck and let me get on.
No, I agree.
This isn't that.
But
and you're gonna still do your job. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't heard me say, okay, look, this ain't. But you still got to try to be smart. I don't know now. My question is, in terms of what's next, is who's going to be the level-headed person? Who's going to be the fair and objective person? Who's going to do what makes sense for the future at this point? What makes sense for right now, today, and then what makes sense for the future of the team, the franchise, for the division, for your position in this league? That's how I look at this. It doesn't have to be, you know, loyalty is the gift and the curse. I'm learning that between the job, what I deliver and share, and from a media perspective, the questions that I ask, whatever. Loyalty is the gift and the curse. All across the board. But it was hard to make this work with all of those injuries. It just was. But then you had an opportunity yesterday. And again, I ain't looking at the defense, you guys, but for the offense to score 0 points, that's bad. You already knew the defense was bad. We knew that last year. 0 points, and the only playmakers you're missing, or players you're missing, is Austin Eckler and Luke McCaffrey. That is a severe problem.
No,
That's where the eyes need to go. You know what I mean? My opinion. I mean, the eyes can go on the two things, but defense for sure, yes. But like, because that wasn't that was I don't know what that was, but no points, none, zero.
I would say this too, like, you know, like he does care. Like I don't deny that. But you know what? I'm like that. See, that's the thing. Like I think people got revisionist history. Like that's how Griffin was though before he started acting stupid at the tour. Griffin put his body on the line all the time for his team. Like he wanted to be great for this team. I'm not comparing how he acted in the locker room is different.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the play on the field though. What you're talking about. He wanted it like in 2012. I'm not talking about all in on for. I'm not talking to sophomore year, but in 2020, 2012, he put his body on the line for the team.
Like but nobody would stop him.
Nobody stopped him. Like
which is a little different,
right?
Yeah,
from right
he
now.
Is being stopped.
Yeah, like Griffin was not being stopped. Griffin would go for the extra yards. He would get blasted by a safety because he's trying to get the first down rather than being safe. Everybody's like slide. He's like, nah, I can't slide because the first down marker is right there. I need to get the first down. So it was like, I get that. Like, I love to being a competitor. The good thing for Jaden is that he now I think it's Dan Quinn kind of learned his lesson after what happened in that Lions game. What I do like about Jaden and Jaden's situation, he has guys in that room that are like, nah, you gotta chill, my guy. Like you gotta chill. And he got good leadership with Bobby Wagner too.
It's a lot of
he has some guys like that too.
Like Terry losing Zach, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know that it goes beyond field play.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's another person in the room, a voice of reason.
Yeah.
That now you're down where, a phone call could help, a text could help, but it's nothing like talking to your brother face to face.
Facts.
To be like, hey, listen, let me talk to you. You know, it's different. I see them. I see how they are. And so it's difficult because it's difficult, but changes need to be made.
They gotta be made. Change it definitely gotta be made.
And I don't mind saying that. And I don't mind, and I hope my questions convey that. I've had, I think I ask tough questions all the time when I'm able to.
Yes, you do. You do, buddy.
I be hitting them like,
no, everybody, look, Candi, everybody in these like chats, Paul, George, they always tweet out, man, like Candi acts the real ones out here. So that's not nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And keep letting people know that because it's hard to do this, especially when the team looked like it did yesterday.
I mean, that's what, because people, that's the thing. The issue is that, you know, like fans, they just want all the questions being asked. And then, you know, you gotta ask questions in a certain way when your team starts to play like this. You know what I'm saying? Can always be, you can't you can't come in like, I'm gonna use this analogy. You can't come into a situation like Teddy Pendergrass. You know what I'm saying? Like I know Teddy coming that thing aggressive. You can't do that when you're doing this. Like, you can't be like Teddy. You gotta smooth it like Marvin. You gotta smooth it like Marvin. You know what I'm saying? You gotta smooth it like Marvin.
Smooth operator, especially in a public environment when the cameras are on and the mics are on, because then it becomes the media always the media don't care. The media
you can't get that. You can't get that. Yeah, exactly.
And so you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Sorry if Mama Waller's still watching and I said that, but it's the truth. Because you know, Mama don't like me to cuss, so it's damned if you.
I think Mama left. She said, "Blessings to everyone." I think Mama
it's damned if you do, it's damned if you don't. But you got to be the smooth operator, and it's
like Paul said, Candi. The question of the year was asking Dan after the Cowboys game, will he take over play calling? Here, got you. See, look, man, you got your love. I'm telling you, they know. The streets know. You don't got to worry about it.
It was a general question because he could have took it all over at that point because I was through with it all.
I was letting you know, streets know.
But goes back to that was week 7.
Yeah.
And a change didn't get made until when? Week 10, week 11?
Yeah.
Right? And then there was 0 points scored on offense in week 14. I asked that question in week 7 because we all saw it in week 7 that you got a problem with the play calling on both sides of your football right here.
Facts.
I've been holding on to that all year because I'm like, Well, I have, because it's been an issue, and I'm like, yo, I don't care who playing at this point. It's just in the run game, because that was your only healthy year. I keep going back and forth.
Now you good, child. You good. Oh wait, no, we do got to end it though. Now
Yeah,
we at 2:30. We at 2:30.
So y'all, thank y'all for watching.
Appreciate
this has
y'all,
been
man.
long, and y'all still came down 10 toes down, but that's, and thank you, George, for that. This was rough, you guys. This was rough, and trust me, I get it. It. But please know, like Jaden, they care. They genuinely care. I wouldn't say that if they didn't. Truth be told, but we'll see what they have based on the current roster. We got to see let's hope that we can all see what they have, so that we can, start that type of, our own versions of evaluation. And I guess we'll be talking a whole lot more this off season than we were this past, because this past off season, I was like, well, like, I'm off. I ain't working. They went to the NFC Championship. I don't care what they do. Like
you gonna be working. You gonna be working.
Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be working all year long now. Dang. But anyway, all right. So thank y'all so much, and I'll be talking to you guys again soon.